Name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
A heat advisory continues into the mid-evening hours. Skies will stay mostly clear as we go through the night. Lows in the mid-70s with a light wind. Partly to mostly sunny on Tuesday with an isolated afternoon storm. Highs in the mid to upper 90s, feeling like 105 degrees. An isolated evening storm, then partly cloudy Tuesday night. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936.
/JOY.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 65 days.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. If I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Phil said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
That's even one Razorback.
It's vintage Matt Jones.
1, 2, 3. Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Morning, halftime Tuesday. Good to be with you on a gorgeous and boiling day across the natural state. Phil Elson, my partner Matt Jones, looking pretty again as always. Christian Johnston, he might be pretty in the producer's chair. I'm not quite sure. Matt will tell me. And first things first, a big congratulations due to the Tennessee Volunteers and the Florida Panthers for their championship wins yesterday, and a unique day across sports, especially on a Monday where a couple of championships are decided. Matt, I watched the entire Tennessee A&M game without flipping over to Stanley Cup Finals until the final out was recorded by the Volunteers. Watched a little bit of the celebration, then flipped over, and man, those last 8-9 minutes were pretty intense. Edmonton had a lot of chances, and turns out Florida does not have the biggest choke in sports history. So it was a big day of sports. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Just because you are a character doesn't mean you have character. Keep it in your pants. We'll be here all show. Tennessee, they were able to get the victory. Edmonton, you thought the best player they would have it, they would get it done. But it's tough. It's tough to beat a team 4 times in a row. And Florida home ice, they were able to do just enough.
Just enough. Tennessee did just enough, too, in a series that was really entertaining. And, look, I know a lot of Arkansas fans, probably every Arkansas fan is just kind of sick over another championship for an SEC baseball team. It would have happened either way, first-timer. And a lot turned their nose up at Tennessee, and I can understand reasons why. I'm going to choose to be happy for people that are part of that program that that I think we all actually could have reason to at least get with in some of these cases here. Top of the list, Tony Vitello. Tony Vitello right now is the biggest. I don't know how to put it. Is it the matter of the best, the most well known, the one that's that right now has built the program that certainly looks like a complete monster. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the first of a few over there in Tennessee, because they've got all kinds of momentum, and I just know a lot of when you're raised by a Hall of Fame coach like Tony was, and you are working for some of the best in the sport on your way up, and then get a chance to establish yourself. And now it seems he, at least in terms of the ultimate achievement, has surpassed some coaches. Happy for Josh Elander, who was an assistant at Arkansas. Great guy, outstanding coach. He's going to be a head coach in the near future too. And happy for John Wilkerson, the Tennessee radio voice, who I've gotten to know pretty well. Great guy, been doing that since 1992. He's even done seasons where, get this, he didn't even get paid to do the games, and he was still doing Tennessee volunteer baseball on the radio. And Luke Bonfield might be top of the list for me when it comes to this. I've always had a soft spot for Luke because my first year doing Arkansas baseball on the radio was Luke's freshman year. And that season he looked lost a little bit, but he had a lot of fun getting to know him. And he had himself a wonderful career at Arkansas and finished just short of a national championship in 2018. I had to be reminded of this, but I thought this was the case. I went back and looked in the scorebook from that season. Luke was the final out of the 2018 College World Series finals against the Oregon State Beavers. Took a third strike against Kevin Abel, and then the celebration set off, and that was the end of Luke's college baseball career. And I'm happy for him. He gets a ring, well-deserved ring. So, I always say I don't root for fan bases. I guess I shouldn't root against fan bases in that case too. So, Matt, I got reason to feel happy for some people over there. And the other aspect about this is this was the team that was supposed to win it. And that's so rare to see that in this sport, whether it's Major League Baseball or college baseball. I think this Tennessee team certainly deserves to be recognized as one of the best baseball teams in college baseball history. We'll have to look in years down the line to really have a sense about that, but to be the first team since '99 to go into the tournament as a number 1 seed and to win it, and then to do the thing that so many people will say you just can't pull it off, which is winning an SEC tournament and winning the national championship. So they also pulled off a regular season SEC championship, so that's a pretty impressive trifecta. And you no longer can tell me these things can't be done because Tennessee has proved it. So there's the reasons I'm happy for it.
Yeah, I got my orange pin today, celebrating in orange, no question about it. Shout out to my late great grandmother who's passed, but she's a Knoxville Tennessean, and when I was growing up, she always wanted me to go to Tennessee. So it's good that they got one. The question, I guess, we hear a lot of, and can you say there's no dumb questions, but there is, but there's a lot of points or takes that people have, and you're just like, that's ridiculous, but I guess you got to put up with it. It's like the point that when Bobby P became offensive coordinator, it's like, oh, he's going to be the next head coach. It's right. Like, that doesn't make any sense, like what are y'all, who told you that? Anyways.
We love to jump to conclusions, even without the famous math.
Right? Yeah, you made $1 million. It's like who thinks that Tony Vitello is going to leave Tennessee and go to Texas after just winning a national title? There's just no. I don't think it's in the cards.
Well, the question still I don't know. I don't think it was asked to Tony, but it was asked to Jim Schlossnagle. He wasn't too pleased with the question, but I guess he must have at least anticipated it would have come. But you're right. I guess that's always the next thing. It's like looking forward instead of just appreciating what just happened, which truly was. I mean, to me, this is an NCAA tournament that should stand out a little bit because so many of what was it, 6 of the national seeds, 6 of the top 8 made it to Omaha. Really, I think the 2 best teams in the nation got to the finals, and I think the best team won it. I did think A&M was a little bit more complete, but you remember what I brought up yesterday. I thought A&M's chance was game 2. If you hold Tennessee to 4 runs, you better win that game because you're not going to hold them to 4 runs again. And as close as A&M made it, man, down, 5 runs, and then getting down to within 1 run in that last inning, they still held on to some hope. And, hey, congrats to both teams because I thought it was a lot better of a championship series than last year. There were no blowouts, 3 games where in the last inning, you had the tying run bat each time, so it was dramatic, it was entertaining, and now it's really the end of the college sports season. This is the last one. We've had the track championships, softball championship, baseball championship, all in the last, 3 weeks? So now we get, you could say the the college sports season starts when football players start getting to camp. So that's going to be the very end of July and early August. So I guess you get about a month of off season is what it comes down to. 1 month out of 12. Have yourself a vacation.
It's a full-time job. That's for sure.
It's never going to change either.
Full-time gig.
You just wait until eventually the baseball season is pushed back. I think eventually it might be. I don't know if there's momentum for this to happen now, but I could see a world, and people will say, no, that would never happen like that. I could see a world where the College World Series ends maybe a week after this or maybe 2 weeks after this.
So July 4th weekend?
Potentially.
Yeah.
It'd be an interesting weekend to try it.
Yeah.
And then you'd have a 3-week off season. And really not even 3 because I think for a lot of media members, they count media days as the start of the football season.
One of the things that's beautiful about baseball, and when you look back, when you're 9, 12 years old and you're playing all the sports, and you look back when you're 40, you see the difference. Baseball, you play every day. Would you say our shortstop's already playing in some league, hitting back-to-back home runs?
Much of our players are.
That's what I mean. Football, you're not allowed. You can't. Your body physically can't do that. You have to.
Well, you're not going and playing summer ball?
You have to go. You go and play summer iron. You go in the weight room and lift iron and go do your cardio. It's a different basketball. You get to shoot around a little bit more, but the way baseball works, man, you take a little BP, do your thing, but as you get older, man, you get to go play the game every day, and it still is. Baseball's pretty cool in that aspect that, man, it's just the boys out there and you're grinding and you're playing every day. It's pretty cool.
I also saw that Arkansas baseball has gotten their first transfer pitcher to come in, a left-hander. He was the number 1 pitcher for Ohio State University. Landon, I'm going to try to say his last name correctly, but they didn't have a pronunciation guide on the Ohio State website. Beidelshees, either Beidelshees or Beidelshies. I'm not quite sure. It looks like he's got a lot of talent, and I thought for certain they would have to bring in a veteran pitcher, and they brought one in. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is a guy that's pitching Saturdays or Sundays. I do think Fridays will be reserved for Gabe Gackle. Congratulations also to Rachel Glenn, Talia Brooks, Chris Bailey, and Jarian Lawson, former Razorbacks that will be making the trip to Paris for the Olympics as they made it through at the U.S. trials yesterday in Eugene. Glenn finishing second in the high jump, Talia third in the heptathlon, Chris Bailey third in the 400 meters, and Jarian Lawson third in the long jump. So and there's still a chance for more Razorbacks to qualify later on in the week.
I watched some of that. I didn't watch much. I knew you had the baseball covered, Phil, so I watched some of the track, some of Copa America, a little bit of the Stanley Cup, not really as much. Another thing we get into, we were talking about the camera angle a little bit. That, I think, is what the deal is. There's so much action going on the ice, but that camera angle is so centered on just following the puck, and you can't see what's going on. But man, watching the guys and the girls, Phil, run a 400 meter. I mean, the best shape in your life is track shape. It is just next level. The work that the ladies and the guys put in. 400 meters, the 800 meters. That's a man's race, man. That girl that was she ran like a 2:02 in the septathlon. It was just like, oh my goodness, man. That's just how the shape that she's in is unreal.
I knew you'd be interested in it because the first thing you'll bring up when it comes to football and the thing you need for football is speed. And that's what these time trials are all about. Heck, that's what track and field is all about, or at least explosion of some sort. I don't think you talk about speed if you're talk about a high jump, but
talk about 1997. You sent me a text earlier. The guy that won the 400 meters was Goldmouth. He had grill gold, and I thought it was a flashback to 27 years ago or something. I was like, whoa, are we in like 2001 and we're about to get jiggy with it? It was
Grills by Nelly is still one of my favorites.
Hey, he ran like a 47 or something. Whatever he ran, he made the Olympic standard and won. So it was it was crazy.
All right, we're going to run for just a brief moment here, set you up for what's halftime on this Tuesday. We'll have Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio 115. Pig Trail Nation's Alyssa Orange. We'll get into the Olympics with her in about an hour. Voice of the Razorbacks, Chuck Barrett, joins halftime for a couple of the segments right after this.
This is halftime.
Touchdown, Arkansas! We fought back. We took a punch. And we answered back, he's gonna go!
This video is powered by the pros at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPaschal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McClarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McClarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McClarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. From baseball, golf, soccer, right to all the top fights in UFC, MMA, and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BLEAV for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
This song hit number 2 without one guitar. Gary Wright traveled with George Harrison to India for spiritual enlightenment and wrote Dream Weaver, describing God as infinite love and compassion, seeing him through the trials of the night. Of the 330 million gods of Hinduism, not one will get you to the morning light, but only through the blood of Jesus Christ. Satan is a master deceiver, weaving many into make-believers. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and HitThatLine.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you. Are you ready to give your family the best 4th of July experience yet? USA Fireworks wants to make that happen with the USA Fireworks Bangin' Giveaway. USA Fireworks has helped Arkansans more than 30 years. Go to hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks and enter for your chance to win a fireworks show worth $2,000 retail. Again, hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks. For more information about wholesale prices, go to usafireworks.org.
This
Tuesday afternoon, I'm just beginning to see. Now I'm on my way. It doesn't matter to me, chasing the clouds away. Something falls to me. The trees are drawing me near. I've got to find out why. The
such gentle voices I hear, explain it all with a sigh.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All guests join Halftime on the McClarty Daniel Hotline, where we have voice of the Razorbacks, Chuck Barrett, with us today. Good morning, Chuck. What's new in your life?
Well, I'm just happy to be on with you guys. Hope you guys are doing well.
We're doing great, man. Doing great. Well, there's nothing new about that. We do this each Tuesday. Here's what's new. The college athletic season has come to an end. We get like a month, maybe a month of an off season. That's about it. That's about it. And when you look at the Tennessee Volunteers, They probably had the best year of anybody in the three sports that we focus on. Heck, you could probably even go to 4 with women's basketball as far as the SEC is concerned. Good year in football, SEC tournament champions in basketball. Baseball has won a national championship, and they've dispelled the myth that you can't be the number 1 seed, win the SEC tournament, and win a national title too.
Yeah, I guess 4 teams now in the conference have won the regular season, won the conference tournament, and then won the national championship. So I really think for the last 6 weeks they've been clearly the best team out there. And I know A&M won the game on Saturday night, and A&M's really good and earned the right to be there. But Tennessee's, I mean, they won 60 games, and you just don't do that in college baseball.
No, you don't.
That's a treble right there, huh? They won the regular season, the SEC tournament, and the College World Series,
and being number 1 going into the. I mean, that's what makes this stand out. This any team that wins a national title has done something special. But when you have the target on your back the way that they've had it on their back this year, especially once you got in about mid-April and it looked like they were really starting to catch fire, but they were just tough to stop, Chuck. And I hear all this talk about, oh, we want more guys to make contact and everything. You know how Tennessee won this series? They won it by hitting home runs and not making mistakes. That's what they did.
Well, they, I thought they were a little shaky in the field, honestly, during the whole thing, and I was a little surprised by that. But they were good enough in the other areas. I know they made some spectacular plays defensively, but they also made some errors, and that's kind of what I mean. It was a little bit different Tennessee team defensively, but no, you're right. I mean, they, Tennessee won, I think, because, you hear the phrase mirror their coach a lot in sports, and a lot of times it's really BS if you want to get right down to it. It's just a phrase. But I really thought they mirrored their coach, and, I thought Tony had this team completely bought in. I mean, from the time that really the last 2 or 3 weeks of the regular season, but particularly when the postseason got here, I just thought he had his team in a way most coaches don't, but the teams that win it all generally do. And I just thought he was good, his team was good, and they deserved to win it.
Who was the MVP at Tennessee this year? Who was their best player?
Well, it varied. Dreiling was the MVP of the tournament, but Phil, you kept up with it as much as anybody. I thought Christian Moore was their best player. I think Christian Moore is going to be a big leaguer, and I don't think it's going to take all that long for him to get there.
Yeah, I think you'd put Moore right there at the top of the list. And Dreiling certainly in the College World Series, but just Moore stands out. I mean, he won an SEC only Triple Crown, which says something about his talent, and he shot right up the draft boards. And I think you're right, Chuck. He'll be playing in the big leagues, but just 1 through 9. It was a really difficult lineup to get through. That's why I was so impressed with A&M and the way they pitched the first couple of games, even yesterday. I mean, it's to be able to hold them to 15 runs in 3 games. It says something, because that's a scary lineup. 184 home runs, and they did that without striking out a lot. So, I mean, that's usually what you'd expect, a team that would strike out about 9.5, 10 times a game. They were under 9 times a game with all that power, and the power was 1 through 9. And that's the thing that stands out about them, Chuck. It's everybody in that lineup had double-digit home runs, like everybody.
Well, they certainly stand out, in terms of what they did this year. And yeah, I mean, their offensive numbers are very, very impressive. And here's the thing that, when I watch college baseball right now, particularly in the SEC, it's a power game, much like the major leagues. The thing that impresses me about Moore is the fact that he hits for average and for power. It's one thing to hit 230 in the big leagues and hit 35 home runs. You're facing the most elite pitching on the planet every night. I think a college hitter that's going to be in the big leagues, I think you have to look at the batting average. I don't think a college hitter who hits 230 and has 20 home runs is going to play in the big leagues. He's a good college hitter, but I don't think he's playing in the big leagues. Now, a college hitter that hits over 300 and hits 20 home runs, that guy's going to be in the big league. So I give Tennessee full credit for what they did. I mean, it is a power game right now, and they reminded me to an extent of some of the old LSU teams. They'd make a spectacular play on defense, then they'd muff a routine play. Then they'd strike out, then they'd hit a home run. And Tennessee kind of reminded me of that. But you got to give them full credit. I don't think, and I'm just going to be honest on this, I don't think it's an endorsement of the all-out swing for the fences style. I don't think that. I think they did it because they had the best players, pure and simple. But I don't think that you can swing from your heels like that and consistently, win championships. I think it all came together for them, and I give Tony a lot of credit for that. But I mean, they were a great offensive team.
Tony, in the postgame yesterday, had a lot of really nice, great things to say about his time at Arkansas and about Dave Van Horn. Heck, he called Dave, he thinks, the best coach in the country. And I know he's not the only one who thinks that. What do you think, Tony? What do you think the years that Tony spent at Arkansas did for him as an assistant, moving into it being a head coach right after Arkansas to Tennessee?
Well, Coach Van Horn has the reputation of letting guys coach, letting them do their thing, not being a micromanager. And I'll just give you an example. On the other hand, Schlossnagle's the guy who has a reputation for being a micromanager. Mm-hmm. And I'm not knocking that. I mean, everybody's got their own way. You can't argue with Schlossnagle's way. When he was the head coach at TCU and Tony worked for him, the bulk of the players that got him to Omaha 4 years in a row were recruited by Tony. I thought that he recruited at the same level here. But I think that, Dave, and again, I was not around it every day. I just know his reputation, and his reputation is one who lets coaches coach. But, guys, this is about recruiting. I mean, Tony's been a great recruiter. He was a great recruiter at TCU. He was a great recruiter at Arkansas, and he's been a great recruiter at TCU, or at Tennessee. I'm sorry, and he's got a little Arkansas flair on his staff. Bonfield's over there, and Elander's over there. There may be some others too. And I just think Dave Van Horn teaches you how to run a program. And I've always said there's a difference between coaching a team and running a program. The reason a lot of people think Dave Van Horn is the best coach in America is because coach is a really special title. In our part of the country, probably the most revered title. And Dave coaches coaches, coaches managers, coaches players, coaches everybody by example. I'm not saying he's yelling at everybody. I'm saying he does it by example. He teaches you how to run a program if you're a coach. And I would imagine what Coach Vitello saw here in terms of that is what he carried with him to Tennessee. Dave has run a great program, and the byproduct of that has been consistent winning. It's not the other way around. The byproduct of running a great program is consistent winning.
Hey, Chuck, we've seen a lot of coaching searches over the last few months. If it's the Lakers, if it's Alabama, A&M, now you're seeing Texas baseball do it. Any chance Tony Vitello goes and is the head coach at Texas? Who do you think's the head coach, the next baseball head coach at Texas?
I'm not sure. If Tony had lost last night, I would say the chances of him going are better than they, are now that he's won. I don't see how you can leave Tennessee now. And I'm not saying he would have anyway. Schlossnagle is an interesting deal. The AD at Texas was his AD at TCU. And they've kind of gotten over this thing in Texas that you can't move from one in-state school to the other. Now, going from Texas A&M to Texas would be the bombshell of bombshells to their people. And it wasn't an accident that they fired their head coach on the day Texas A&M was playing for the national title. That was not an accident. And I think, they've got the money to go hire anybody they want. I think they're prepared to make the right guy the highest paid coach in college baseball by a long shot if it's the right guy. I think they're looking to raid the SEC. I don't know if it's going to be Vitello. I really don't think so. I think it could be Schlossnagle, might be Jay Johnson over at LSU. Again, Texas, I think they're prepared to make the right guy the highest paid coach in college baseball. I do believe that.
Chuck's with us for one more segment here in our first hour of halftime. Want to remind you about Crabtree RV Center. If you've been affected by the storms and tornadoes in northwest Arkansas and north central Arkansas recently, your home might be undergoing repairs. If you can't live in your house, think about renting or purchasing an RV while your home is undergoing repairs. Crabtree RV Center is here to help you with that. They can also repair your RV if it was damaged during the storm. Just give Crabtree a call at 479-632-0829 or give them a look online at crabtreerv.com. Back with the voice of the Razorbacks, Chuck Barrett, in just a moment on Halftime.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Get up to $6,000 off on the 2024 GMC Sierras, or $4,000 off and as low as 1.9% financing for 36 months with approved credit at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 2024 GMC Sierra has a 5.3-liter V8 engine, so you can conquer the road with confidence. Up to $6,000 off, or $4,000 in discounts and as low as 1.9% financing. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Have you tried the TGI Friday weekday deals? On Monday, they have 50-cent wings, traditional or boneless, 10-piece minimum. Tuesday, cheeseburgers and fries with a fountain drink for $10. On Wednesday, Cajun shrimp and chicken pasta for only $12. On Thursday, enjoy a half a rack of ribs for only $12. Stop by and check out the weekday deals at TGI Fridays, I-540 at Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. In here, it's always Friday.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
Nobody wants a clog. Westart Plumbing knows that clogs are a serious issue. They can signal that bigger problems are on the way. So contact Westart Plumbing while the problem is small. Slow shower and sink drain, gurgling toilets and outside cleanouts making a mess? Call 479-646-5151 today. Westart Plumbing and expert drain cleaning since 1993. They keep you flowing. If you have slow drains or high water bills, call Westart Plumbing and expert drain cleaning service. 646-5151.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Gray Steel Structures Incorporated is a family-owned business based in Greenwood specializing in steel structures. Owner Will Gray has 20 years experience doing the job right and making sure you're satisfied with the structure you have a need for. Gray Steel Structures serves both commercial and residential customers. Whatever your need may be, mini storage, RV storage, home workshop, or any metal building need, make Gray Steel Structures your first call. Gray Steel Structures, 252-2783. That's 252-2783.
GraySteelStructuresInc.com. That's Gray with an A.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I came upon a child of God. He was walking along the road, and I asked him, tell me where are you going? She told me. Said I'm going down to last just wrong on joy. Got to get back to the land, set my soul. We are stars, we are fire. We got to get outside, and we got. Woman, can I run beside you? I have come to lose the smile, and I feel myself becoming something turning.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
And the voice of the Razorbacks, Chuck Barrett, with us for one more segment here on Halftime. He joins us on the McClarty Daniel hotline. Chuck, this hit me really just this morning. I listened to John Calipari on the Dan Patrick Show a few days ago. He was talking about, maybe in the future you do a podcast again as a coach. I know he had just started one. I think you only put one episode out in March as the Kentucky head coach, and then everything happened that happened. J.J. Redick says he's not going to do a podcast as the head coach of the L.A. Lakers. And then I wonder, what is Doug Gottlieb doing? You've hosted a radio show before. Long time. You know the kind of prep that goes into it, and it's not just the time you're spending on the air. How do you think he runs a college basketball program and does a daily talk show? Because I have trouble doing one without being a head coach.
Well, I don't think he puts quite as much prep into the talk show, maybe, would be my guess. I don't know the format. I've not listened to it. I'm sure they've got a staff, whereas most of the time, in the smaller markets, the guys are all doing it themselves. So I would imagine he can make it work. I don't look, I'm going to be candid. I'm not sure he's world class at either one of them, but he's making a go of it, I guess.
That was the direction I thought I might have gone with it too. But Reddick had himself a little bit of an explosive presser yesterday. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen every introductory press conference, but that's the first one I've heard where the guy dropped an F-bomb about it. So he's a little bit different.
I thought he made a fool of himself. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought he looked like an idiot up there. And I'm not anti-J.J. Reddick. I'm not anti-Lakers. We talked a little bit earlier about the power of that title, coach. And maybe I'm old school, but I believe there's a certain decorum that is required, particularly of a professional coach. And look, his players may have loved it. I don't know. But I just thought that I thought he looked foolish.
If they don't get any help, it's a sinking ship, and there is a rain cloud above it. Chuck, Lakers need some help. I see the Knicks have 2 picks in the first round. Now they're both in the 20s. Draft tomorrow. It's drafts right here next 48 hours. What do you think the Knicks do? I saw Obi-Wan Kenobi said he's going to opt out. That doesn't mean they won't re-sign him. I think the Knicks will try to re-sign him. I mean, you look at like Pascal Siakam, who signed with Indianapolis. That's the type of player that Obi could be. What do you think the Knicks do in the draft?
Well, I'm not sure what they're going to do about Anunoby, and to me, that's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
You look at their record after they acquired him, and it was really good. He's a good player, a really good player. And apparently their first offer was, I don't know if it was the first offer, but the most recent offer, he didn't like, and that's, I guess part of the reason he's opted out. I don't know, but I think they've got a pretty good core. I think they need to keep it together. Thibodeau's a guy that it's always been my impression. He's going to want to coach veterans. I'm not sure which way they're going to go in the draft. I mean, when you're picking in the 20s, you basically take the best guy out there. There's never anything wrong with taking the best player available, in my opinion. So we'll just see who's out there when they pick. But to me, the most important thing they do throughout this period is re-signing Anunoby.
I'm with you, Chuck. I agree 100% with you. The one mystery, there's probably a couple mysteries in this NBA draft. What happens with Bronny James? You think he's like a quarterback almost, or there's a little special quality? Because it's not like the kid can't play, and we know how it goes. Do you think somebody jumps up in the first round to get Bronny James, and you see where the Lakers are going to offer LeBron a 3-year extension? I just don't know. Investing in the older that aging veteran is not going to go good for your franchise. But what do you think? You think Bronny James gets in the first round somewhere?
No, not in the first round. The Lakers might take him in the second round, and basically the league's just going to let him do it.
Mm-hmm. They let LeBron have an agency.
Somebody might jump up and take him, and try to leverage that, in terms of LeBron. But I sense there's probably been an unspoken, unwritten edict sent down from the league to stay out of the way and let this happen. He's not going to be in the NBA very long, it doesn't sound like. I'm not an evaluator of talent, but the people that I've listened to and read about that say that there's no way.
He's 4 years away minimum.
LeBron's son, that he wouldn't even be there. So, no, I don't think first round, maybe second if the Lakers take him. I know he's worked out for Phoenix, and there are rumors LeBron might end up there. You know, you said it a minute ago. I mean, as far as Reddit goes with the Lakers, I mean, if LeBron's the cornerstone of your franchise, you're in trouble. What they should do is dump him and rebuild around Anthony Davis. That's what they should do, but they're not going to.
You think of Paul George, you think of Trae Young, you think of Jamal Murray, even the kid from the Knicks. Yeah, you looking at, there's some decent pieces, Chuck, that you could free up some cap space and go get 2 pieces to go with Anthony Davis. I think you're right, but we know that's not what the Lakers are going to do.
Well, instead of listening to who LeBron wants to play with, they need to listen to who Anthony Davis wants to play with. He's the one, if they're going to win a championship, and I don't know if they are, but if they are, he's the player on the team that's going to lead him there. It's not going to be LeBron. And I love LeBron. I got nothing against LeBron. But hey man, I mean there's a time when it's over. And him hanging banners, that time's over.
Well, is it over for Boston? Here's a team that has built them.
No, it's not over for Boston.
No, and I mean they don't have to worry about doing anything in the draft.
They got to keep Derek White. I think that's their one free agent that they're going to try to keep, because they're going to re-sign Tatum, and they just re-signed Brown, and you got Drew Holiday. So I think that's the one guy.
They use their draft picks to get quality veterans that prove to be the difference in this team. You know, being where the top was basically making it to the Eastern Conference Finals or losing in the finals to Golden State. You know, they wouldn't have gotten as far as they did without Porzingis. I know he barely played much in the postseason. And Drew Holiday, I mean, that might have been the biggest trade that they've made in a long, long time.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, I thought Drew Holiday was the missing piece there. And I know they've got other great players. But I don't know what Milwaukee was thinking. I just don't know what they were thinking. I mean, they ship out Holiday for an aging Lillard. They're 30-10, and they fire their coach. I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. And I love Portis, and I pull for him. And I know Giannis being hurt had a lot to do with it, but I've still not figured that one out.
You got to be enjoying the Cardinals surge. Did not see them winning this many games the first month, but you never can go by the first month. But all of a sudden, they've pulled themselves 5 games back of the Brewers, and they got to be thinking maybe about adding a piece or 2 in the next month.
I'm going to be interested to see what they do in that regard. Can they keep this going? Now, look, I just for the record, I don't think this is a really good Cardinals team. And I hate to be Mr. Negative, but I don't think it's a really good team. But the advantage that they have is nobody else in the division is very good either. And the Brewers are, as the Brewers do, I mean, they're good enough to win the division, and that's about it. And so I think the Cardinals, I think they've got a shot to be a wild card team. I don't think they can win the division. And if they are a wild card team, they might get hot. Who knows? But that's kind of the goal of that franchise now. Is let's be good enough to get in the tournament and see what happens. And so I think they may be on a path to pull that off. But I still don't think they're a World Series contender. But they are playing better. No, there's no doubt about that.
Chuck, out of time, ma'am. Appreciate you hopping on. Thank you. Always fun talking with you these Tuesdays.
Have a good day.
Thanks, Chuck.
Chuck Barrett, voice of the Razorbacks, with us each Tuesday on the McClarty Daniel Hotline. I like how he puts it. It's like the Cardinals are just sort of satisfied with being just a little better than mediocre. I'm a Pirates fan. Hey, a little better than mediocre, throw him a freaking parade. 877-377-6963. Calls and texts on the McClarty Daniel Hotline. Halftime back in just a moment. We'll wrap up the first hour after this.
This is Halftime.
I know we're always on the go.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McClarty Daniel Hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McCarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McCarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McCarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. From baseball, golf, soccer, right to all the top fights in UFC, MMA, and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BLEAV for your 50% and welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
This song hit number 2 without one guitar. Gary Wright traveled with George Harrison to India for spiritual enlightenment and wrote Dream Weaver, describing God as infinite love and compassion, seeing him through the trials of the night. Of the 330 million gods of Hinduism, not one will get you to the morning light, but only through the blood of Jesus Christ. Satan is a master deceiver, weaving many into make-believers. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and HitThatLine.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in DeQueen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you. Are you ready to give your family the best 4th of July experience yet? USA Fireworks wants to make that happen with the USA Fireworks Bangin' Giveaway. USA Fireworks has helped Arkansans more than 30 years. Go to hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks and enter for your chance to win a fireworks show worth $2,000 retail. Again, hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks. For more information about wholesale prices, go to usafireworks.org.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric, Arkansas owned.
You call me up and ask me, would I like to go with you and see a movie? First I say no, I got some plans for tonight, and then I stop and say alright.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Bill Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, we've got to figure out a halftime homework assignment for C Unit for this weekend. He enjoyed himself some train spotting over the weekend. I'm not quite sure which direction to go, because I don't know if we need to go in the direction of more. Do we need to go in the direction of more like psycho, drug-induced?
Have you seen
Lock,
Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels? It's a Guy Ritchie flick.
No.
Have you seen Rock and Rolla? It's Guy Ritchie. Snatch. We might need to go down the Madonna Guy Ritchie avenue.
Didn't they do a movie? Didn't she play in a movie that he directed? I don't know if that's how they met, but I think she was in a movie that he directed.
Maybe.
I don't remember all the movies that Madonna's been in because I kind of stopped at what was the one she did with the tiger? Who's That Girl? I made it maybe through half of that, but that's only because I was like 10. I don't watched anything she was in.
Wasn't she in A League of Their Own?
Yeah, there's that one too.
That's
I don't remember anyone after
but
that.
Layer Cake was another one, and so Guy Ritchie's kind of credited to discovering, Jason Statham, Daniel Craig, kind of giving them their first moments. He definitely gave Statham his first shot and Lock, Stocked. But that's the Guy Ritchie. I celebrate his entire catalog.
You do. I was gonna. What is it about Guy Ritchie movies that you love? Or about him as a director?
He has a lot of the common theme, but it's the same thing with Tarantino. It's the dialogue. It's the how much they're able to converse and speak and the lingo. It's there's a lot of misdirection, a lot of talking, lot of locker room talk, like you're talking with your boys and stuff. So it's but he does a lot of the same stuff. You find something that works and you do it, like Tarantino. Chapter 1, and then it's chapter 2, and you might be going back to see somebody else's point of view, the way they integrate it together. So it's always keeps you going.
I feel like there's some Guy Ritchie movies where I'll always have to have the subtitles.
Absolutely.
Is that like the connecting thing for all of his movies?
It's like
it's difficult to understand what they're saying.
It's like Weird Al Yankovic, right? How am I going to speak with all these marbles in my mouth?
Very well said. That of course was in his big hit "Smells Like Nirvana," and he literally did have marbles in his mouth when he sang it. Matt, I feel proud. Can I take a quick moment here and think to myself, I'm very proud because I don't know if you'd have said that on another radio show. Very proud of you for that. I'll tell you this though, The Gentleman. I watched The Gentleman. What was that? A couple weeks ago, directed by Guy Ritchie.
Mm-hmm.
That was an entertaining movie. I thought that was outstanding. I don't know if C Units watched this one or not. The Gentleman.
Would be a no.
The toddlers, they they're coming for your stuff.
Yeah.
Are you a Gypsy 2 coach?
I did put the subtitles on for this one too.
Colin Farrell, Hugh Grant. I mean, they really do. He really does crush it in that one. But it's the same, a lot of the same stuff.
But Matt, it would also go with the drug theme from Trainspotting. It's not heroin.
It's the puff. It's the puff game, yeah. And the Chinaman, his only vice is tea.
We might
two
have
of these fuzzy biscuits and call me in the morning.
We might have found something here, and it isn't even something from your childhood or my childhood.
Colleges, colleges, because when I discovered Guy Ritchie.
We'll have to revisit this later in the week, but I think we may have found one. The Gentleman by Guy Ritchie. We'll see. 877-377-6963. Calls and texts on the McClarty Daniel hotline. Yeah. Got a lot of movies to watch because there's no college sports to watch. Got some Major League Baseball, maybe. That may take another month or so. Back for our second hour after this.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Summer camp, vacation, travel baseball, repeat. Family reunion, lake time, I'm beat. A parent in the summertime is a glorified chauffeur, but if you find yourself in a fender bender, you'll need a good lawyer. I'm Jackie Mock. With 12 years of experience in insurance and car wreck cases, I can help get you back on the road for more summer fun. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Now we will share a lifetime of the fondest memories.
Hey, this is Ty Richardson for my friends at Eastside Liquor. Do you need some seltzers for the lake and pool this summer? Find new High Noon Tequila seltzers and pool packs of vodka seltzers at Eastside Liquor. Are you looking to class up your next party? Try the new Dickel Single Barrel, aged 17 years and available exclusively at Eastside Liquor. Come on by and see Dave and his team at 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. And don't forget about the convenient drive-thru. Take care of all your alcohol needs this summer at Eastside Liquor.
Hello, this is Mike Jackamore at Arvest Bank, inviting you to join us in the fight against hunger during Arvest's 14th annual Million Meals campaign. All the money goes directly to our communities, and there is no amount too small. Even just $1 provides 5 meals to those in need. Now, through the end of the month, you can easily make a monetary contribution at your nearest Arvest branch. You can also donate online at arvest.com/millionmeals. And if you're an Arvest customer, you can go directly to Arvest Go mobile app. Arvest makes no representation that any contribution is tax deductible. Please consult your tax advisor.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunshine, just a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Our high temperatures today right around 95. Scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight. An overnight low will drop down in the low to mid 70s, and then a 50-50 chance of showers and storms Wednesday. Highs on Wednesday, upper 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grant Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 65 days. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that's the perspective. If I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're gonna go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Name of one Razorback.
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Here we go. Right now, let's go to the field.
Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Back for halftime, hour number 2 on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. I'm Phil Elson with my partner Matt Jones. I've got the C Unit sitting in the chair producing our show, and we'll be talking with Melissa Orange from Pig Trail Nation in about 15 minutes. So now's the time to get in if you want. It's 877-377-6963 to get with us. Tennessee is the national baseball champion. Florida is the Stanley Cup champion. And now we are, I guess we're just sort of set to regular season baseball. NBA draft is coming up later in the week, so we'll dig into that a little bit too. You got golf. You get the Copa America, got Euro 2024. The Olympics are coming up in a couple of months. So I wouldn't call it a sports desert. It's a college sports desert right now. We don't have any games to worry about as far as the teams we usually talk about until Arkansas versus UAPB, which is 65 days away, Matt.
Hey, another teammate of mine, Dan Doty, Clinton, Arkansas, number 65. I want to say maybe he was one of those preferred walk-ons, like as a true freshman, red shirt, then earned a scholarship. I'd have to ask him. But he's started for center for a couple years up there. Great dude.
Number 65 from Clinton. I wonder if he chose that number knowing that that's the road that you take to get to his town.
I think freshmen not on scholarship, they get what's given to them. I think, yeah.
Oh, that highway goes through my town. Can I have that number, please?
Here you go.
60. That's actually a fun. That can be a fun drive, as long as you're not stuck behind some of those trucks on the single lane roads. And they don't have this. They don't have the speed trap in Damascus any longer. So Yes, I have been pulled over in Greenbrier, though that must have been like 15 years ago or something. Can I tempt the devil and say I haven't been pulled over in over 3 years now?
June. We're in June. I think, Phil, that they should be doing 7-on-7 drills. You know, you should be, if you're thinking about what they're doing to prepare. I don't know how much time. You know, I know the rules have changed a little bit, but when I was there, you're getting your work. You're working out 4 days a week minimum. Getting your cardio in, getting some on the field stuff at minimum 2 days a week. If you want to get extra, you can go extra. But that's the type of things they should be doing right now. Just building a rapport, quarterback, receiver, just knowing where you like the ball, who do you see out there, kind of doing some things, finding out what they can do. Can they back shoulder catch really well? Do they catch the slant? You know, what you kind of figure who high points the ball the best. You're just kind of you're out there, and that's the part that you like, Phil. You know, you might think it's work. But it's fun work, you know. It's a joy. It's a joy to be out there with your teammates and you're playing a game and you're working at it, trying to get better. So that's I think that's what they should. That's the type of stuff they should be doing about right now.
Well, that's all the stuff I enjoyed too as a kid growing up, and in the summertime, you know, we played American Legion baseball and everything, but that wasn't the only baseball that we played. I mean, we'd have 4 guys at a time, and we would all have a catch. You know what I mean? Or hit ground balls to each other, or do a home run derby, or something like that. It's really part of the joy of the game, but also we were playing games in the summertime. I mean, I played American Legion for 3 years, Colt League Baseball, Pony League Baseball before that. And it's like you said, I mean, right now, you know, you got all these college baseball players that are going to play in the Collegiate Summer League in California and the Cape Cod League somewhere in Carolina and Northwoods League, really all across the country. And they're playing games where they got umpires and they're keeping score and they're keeping statistics. And these are teams that in some cases have owners that actually are trying to make a little money through fans in the stands. When you're doing 7-on-7, and you must have done 7-on-7 in summer and high schools too, because I know that's a big thing that a lot of the teams do.
It started my senior year, Phil. It really, I think spring ball, it just got there. That's how old I am, I guess. But it wasn't a thing. You could do it, I guess, on your own or whatever, but it wasn't a thing until like 2001 or so.
Mm-hmm. It's all about getting to know your teammates in this case.
And well, you do. That's what the bigger thing now. You're exactly right. You know, you'd go to camps, but now you take your receivers and your running backs and you go to 7-on-7 and you compete against other schools. You're exactly right. No, that wasn't. I when I was in high school, that was the very beginning in the state of Arkansas of that going on. I think Gus Malzahn and Shiloh Christian and Rhett Latt, I think they had a little bit of something. Kind of the Greenwood coach. I'm trying to think if it was Peacock or who was right after him, but I think that was part of it, getting going with all those 7-on-7 camps. But you talk about cool. That's a way to compete. And then a lot of times I liked it because then you get to play both ways. So I get to play a little safety or get to go run around, you know.
Just not expected to hit at that point. I'll bet you could cover.
It's tracking a ball. It's playing center field. That's right.
You'd have been a good center fielder, too. Chris in Springdale says Dan Doty had cool hair. You remember his hair?
He's, you know, Phil, I've never been called cool. I don't know the first thing about it, but yes, if I was to say somebody was cool, it would be him.
I think you have cool hair. Don't you?
Well, I shaved it because I was a swimmer. I didn't know, you mean I could be coming home to this?
Man, if you were a swimmer, you'd have to take that beard off too.
So here's one thing I've noticed, and I mean, I would have the biggest fingernails on, and I say fingernails because I'm from Arkadelphia, but they scoop. These girls that are swimming in the pool, they got these fingernails that are just
they're all paddles, right?
But they're that big, right? Like I'm just thinking, no, duh. Like obviously, I want the biggest fingernails to get my. And then when they wear earrings, I think you got to take your earrings out. I mean, we're going for speed. I get it, it's pretty, but we're trying to be the fastest.
You see some of the track stars. I mean, they've got the long fingernails. The huge long fingernails have been in style for a long time. But hey, it's like the baseball players, the base runners that are putting the oven mitt on. It's not just to protect your hand; it's to give you an extra 3 or 4 inches to slide into the base. You get longer fingernails, you're closer to the finish line.
Look at them just check it out. Maybe I'll ask Alyssa when we have her on. I know she watches some of it, but they look like little guitar picks the way they are on their hands. Then
who needs guitar picks?
They're
when you've got
useful.
fingernails, right?
They're it's you can tell that they're doing that on purpose. But if I was the Olympic Committee, there's no way if you're swimming, you got to clip your fingernails to get in the pool. Like it's an obvious cheat.
Either that or just at least make sure that things are clean. I've seen some of the research that the dirtiest part of your body is underneath your fingernails. Better be careful. Let's check on Tuna, who's probably got the cleanest fingernails of all of our callers. Hey, Charlie, what's going on? Nice to hear from you.
Wait a minute, Phil, did you say I had clean fingernails?
I'm just guessing. I'm only guessing. It's because I think you work in the medical field, and so you better have clean fingernails.
You know what, Phil? I gotta be honest with you, buddy. I bite my fingernails off.
Ooh.
They're not there. You know what? I have. This is what I loved about your coach, Matt. Used to nut. He would always be sitting over there. He'd look so intense.
He never had a fingernail, did he?
No, he'd be biting them fingernails. And you know what? My grandmother used to always say, "I'm gonna put some hot sauce on that to make you quit doing that." And I said, "You put all the hot sauce on here you want. It ain't gonna. It's just a thing for me. I just don't have them, Phil. I do not have them. I don't like toenails. Now, I don't cut the toenail all the way off. Let's be honest. My stuff's clipped. I'm good in that area, and my fingernails, yeah, down to the quick, man. There's been times when I've gotten nervous enough, for sure. But Matt, did I hear you say you weren't called cool? You didn't have all this. Didn't he grab a football and go dunk it in the? You telling me, Matt, you didn't plan that? You just did that celebration on the fly when you went and grabbed that ball and dunked it over the goalpost. You know what I'm talking about?
In the Ole Miss game,
I think he carried it into the end zone. And then dunked it.
Yeah. No, that was just. It was senior day. We were up 3 touchdowns. It was a new play. I'd said something to Dow about it the night before or that week leading up. I was like, "Ooh, if that really does happen," because coach had put in that we saw something on film. Linebackers they would get lost with their eyes with an extra shift, extra window dressing, and sure enough, Dew took 2 wrong steps, and it would have been a touchdown in flag football.
Oh yeah, but I always enjoy watching you play, Phil. You said we don't have a lot of sports. I like to go back and watch like highlights and stuff like that because I think somebody had come on here the other day. Somebody had said, You weren't. I never saw you like as a person that did a lot of trash talking or anything. But I felt like you played the game. You had fun. I mean, there was I guess, quiet swag to you. You're probably not going to admit to that, and I understand. But I just felt like you played the game with confidence. And I mean, you were 6'6", 230 pounds. That must be nice. But I probably would have too. That's why I enjoy watching you play because you didn't talk a lot of trash. You just went out there and you did your thing. I mean, maybe you did when you got in the league and all those corners were in your face. I don't know, but
I wonder how many of our listeners do what you do, Charlie. I know there's a lot out there. I mean, you go on YouTube and you see some of these highlight reels or even just full games from however long ago. And, I mean, I guess I did know this. I just don't talk with the guys about it too much on the baseball team, but they brought it up yesterday in the telecast on ESPN that so many of them – they were discussing a pitcher that tries to model himself after Tom Glavine because he got used to watching Glavine on YouTube. He was a baby when Glavine was pitching, but these guys go back and they watch like Hall of Famers sequence. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have a chance to do that in the 80s or the 90s. We just had whatever highlight ESPN might have shown, and it was the same highlight over and over and over again of all the stars. It's like you go back and watch these guys on YouTube, you get a real sense of what they were as athletes and players.
When I see success, I try to, you know what, you're right, I do, and that's part of that competitive thing. And I know Matt doesn't like to, talk about himself, but I mean, anybody, yeah, man, you're right, 100%. I definitely go back and like to watch them. So that was a good game last night, Phil. Great game. I thought A&M was going to come back and pull it off, but congrats to Tennessee. And we're going to see what happens with old coach. I don't think he's going nowhere. Anyways, y'all have a good one.
All right, Charlie, good to hear from you, man. Very good to hear from you. 877-377-6963 if you want to get with us today. And we don't have time to play this, but we will later on. I don't think Tony Vitello is leaving Tennessee. I do think there's a chance that Jim Schlossnagle leaves Texas A&M. He wasn't too happy that he was asked the question about that last night after the game. I can understand where he's coming from, but you probably had to at least expect it. But we'll break here, joined by Pig Trail Nation's Alyssa Orange on Halftime right after this.
This is Halftime.
We'd like our program to reflect our state, the great state of Arkansas. Loyal, tough, hard-working. One of our goals every year is to make the state of Arkansas proud of the football team. In my office is a sign that says you're not coming to play for the University of Arkansas, you're coming to play for the state of Arkansas.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Let's see. Leaky faucet Tuesday. Water flooding the yard. Better put that down for the middle of the month when the bills aren't due.
Honey, what are you doing?
Planning our plumbing problems, of course.
You can't plan our plumbing problems, but you should plan our plumber.
What do you mean?
Like all important contacts, I keep Westart Plumbing in my phone. They're always there when we need them, and they don't overcharge since they know we don't plan our plumbing problems. Here, honey, here's their number.
646-5151. Thanks, babe.
Westart Plumbing. We keep you flowing.
Tommy Kraft for the Fitzman. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fitzman. 479-782-3936. The Fitzman does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month, same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fitzman. 479-782-3936. The Fitzman. He ain't afraid of no work.
Come out to the 2024 Freedom Fest, July 4th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. in Greenwood. This year's festival is packed with craft and artisan vendors, food trucks, kids' activities, and live music. See special performances by Mike Ryan, The Bynum Project, Mr. Cabbagehead and the Screaming Radishes, and Millennial Jukebox. And at dusk, witness the largest fireworks display in the region. Freedom Fest 2024 in Greenwood. Hosted by Greenwood A&P Commission.
Get up to $6,000 off on the 2024 GMC Sierras, or $4,000 off and as low as 1.9% financing for 36 months with approved credit at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 2024 GMC Sierra has a 5.3-liter V8 engine, so you can conquer the road with confidence. Up to $6,000 off, or $4,000 in discounts and as low as 1.9% financing. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Register now for the Landon Jackson Youth Football Camp Saturday, July 20th at Cyclone Stadium in Russellville. The camp is open to kids ages 6 to 14. Campers will receive a signed photo, t-shirt goodie bag, and a photo with Landon. Sponsorship opportunities are available for those needing financial assistance. To register, or if you are a business interested in sponsoring a student athlete, visit hogtownmemorabilia.com for more information. It's the Landon Jackson Youth Football Camp, Saturday, July 20th at Cyclone Stadium in Russellville. Register now at hogtownmemorabilia.com.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Fort Smith's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Well, I knocked to a window, leave her a note. Will you call me at the back of the grove? All the trees were in bloom. That's the smell in the air. We were trembling together. We were young, we were scared, yeah. True love.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All guests join us on the McClarty Daniel Hotline. We have Alyssa Orange from Pig Trail Nation with us for our usual Tuesday visit. Alyssa, how you doing today?
I'm doing well today, Phil. How are you?
Doing okay. Starting to see some of these spots on the U.S. Olympic team come in now for track and field. You got 4 Razorbacks that made the U.S. team yesterday. There are more that have a chance to make it later on in the week, and I would assume for you, the more the better.
Yeah, it's been really fun to watch. I have to say I've never watched this much Olympic trials in my life. But it's been really, really fun and really cool, especially yesterday to watch Talia, Jerry, and Chris, and Rachel Glenn make it in the high jump. And she's going to race in the 400-meter hurdle, so she could also make it in a different event, which is cool. And we've got Sandy Morris still to come, and Kaylin Brown, who is a freshman at 19 years old, and she actually ran the fastest time in the semifinals in the 400 meters. Finished 4th in the finals. There's an opportunity for her to make that relay team, and they'll pick that when things are done for that 4x400 relay team. So that's another one that we're likely going to see in Paris as well, and it's just really cool to see all that success happen.
You have a new favorite right now? Who have you enjoyed watching? Because I saw that race, that semifinal race that Brown ran, and I'm with you. I think she will make that the relay team. But have you like kind of who's caught your eye? That Michigan State decathlete. I saw. I was like, man, that was pretty cool. But there is some interesting stories.
Of course, and I feel like I don't want Arkansas fans to get mad because I'm gonna you can say Sha'Carri Richardson, but her story is just so good, and she's just a fun athlete to watch, and I've enjoyed watching her. The girl who won the heptathlon yesterday, Anna Hall, I think she's going to be a fun person to follow, and again, I get it, she's a Florida Gator, but I feel like their affiliations kind of go out the window, and things like this in terms of, I can't root for them because they went to such and such school. So I had an FSU guy that won the long jump. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I thought that was really cool. So that's kind of it. And then obviously, you have Alexis Holmes, who is part of that 400 team that made it, finished in the top 3. And she trains here in Arkansas. And so she went to Kentucky, but she trains here with Coach Johnson. So she's another one I'm keeping an eye on.
Let's get some thoughts from you on Tennessee's national championship. They did it with home runs, hardly any clutch hitting. I added it up. They were 4 for 30 runners in scoring position against Texas A&M. They didn't walk a lot of guys. The 2 games they won, they combined for 1 error. But it's no surprise to see them winning the national championship. And now I guess in some people's mind, they're just wondering 2 things. Does Tony stay there? I think he does. Is this the only one he wins there? I think that it won't be.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you're both right. I think he stays. I don't think you're going to leave Tennessee after what you've built. You just won a national championship, and you're staying at Tennessee, and you've built that to what it is, and you're going to keep going for as long as you can, which makes that Texas opening very interesting. And I don't think he's going to, this is going to be his last. I think also people are looking at when does Arkansas win theirs. And that's always the conversation people have when the College World Series is over, depending on who won. In the last 5 years, it's been an SEC team, and it's like, when is Arkansas going to get over that hump and win one? And it's coming. We don't know the answer to that, but I really enjoyed Tony when he was here. He was such a nice guy. He was always kind to us. He recruited well, and he did a lot for the University of Arkansas and helping set them up for where they are right now. And I know that sometimes people forget that, and they just see the Tony Vitello they see right now, but I think he gets kind of a little bit of a bad rap in that way, and I was I was truly, truly excited for him. You know, him and Matt Zimmerman are real close. They work together at Missouri. So I was texting Z, like, you tell I told him after they beat FSU, I said, you tell Tony to just go win the whole thing now.
Which he did, and look, I think guys love playing for him. I think the players that he recruited to Arkansas, I think they absolutely adored him. I think the same with the Tennessee players too. And I felt the same way about him when he was a coach at Arkansas. He was just fun to talk to. I loved being around the cage when he was there. My lasting memory of him, Alyssa, is from a series in the worst year that Arkansas had in however long, 2016. And he was throwing batting practice in the Kentucky. This was before they built their new ballpark, and they had just a little indoor cage and a ball. I don't remember who the hitter was. Hit it through the L screen right at Tony, and it shattered his nose, broke his nose.
Yeah,
he went and got the thing. He went and got the thing set, and then coached third base. It's like, it was to me. That's the lasting impression. As I see Tony, it's like, what the heck happened to Tony? Oh my gosh! And he's still going to coach today.
Yeah. I remember that too, man. That was crazy, and it was really cool that moment yesterday, hugging his dad after the game. And I have met his parents one time when they were here, when he was here, and they're just nice people, good people. But you're absolutely right. I mean, I know that him and Andrew Benintendi are still very close, and I don't know how many Arkansas fans know this, but I knew it and I forgot, but Luke Bonfield is a grad assistant with him. He's on the staff in some form or fashion for Tony Vitello. Probably not a grad assistant anymore because he's out of school.
That's the guy that I feel the best for about this. I went back and looked at Luke made the last out of the 2018 finals against Oregon State. That was the last at-bat he had as a Razorback in college baseball. So I feel great for Luke because I love the kid.
Yeah. And you for people, I don't know how many people are going, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. But yeah, you got Luke Bonfield on that, and I guarantee you, Luke wants nothing more for Arkansas to win one too. And Tony basically said that yesterday. And again, it'll come. It's gonna come. But you have to be happy in the moment for what he was able to accomplish as a head coach at Tennessee, and what he was able to help Arkansas do to set them up for the success that they're seeing right now.
Their texters.
You can have both. I promise.
Look, you can. I believe it too, and I think I think it's coming too because I see the level of play in the regular season in a consistent basis on a year-by-year basis. It might not necessarily, winning games the same way year by year, but they've built really good teams. The difference is, Tennessee, they just started playing great baseball once you got into about early April, and they got hot and they never cooled off. LSU, they got hot when they needed to in the tournament last year. The thing about Arkansas, which is just, and I don't know how you figure this out. It's like you want to be playing your best going into June, and 2 years in a row, it hasn't happened. If these teams would have been, if they say the tournament was in March, maybe they would have been playing a little bit better. That's the thing. Nobody knows how to just all right, how do you get your team to play best going into the tournament? That's the trick. People say, oh, they need this at the plate. They need that on the pitcher's mound and everything. What I just see is a program that somehow's got to figure out a way for the guys to be playing their best in June. You do that, they'll go far.
Yeah. Yep. And that's the formula, but that's baseball, right? At the end of the day, Phil, we've been around the game for so long that's how softball too. That's baseball. That's what happens. And not the best team during the regular season isn't always going to win the title at the end of the day. And it's a little bit of talent, a little bit of luck, and a little bit of momentum. You just got to figure out the right formula.
Hey, Alyssa, watching this the swim trials, have you noticed anything on the ladies on that? How some of them have those the fingernails that are almost kind of like scoops on them, and then some of them don't. But I just thought that was kind of interesting. Check it out next time you watch them swimming. Some of those girls, you can tell
have to check that out.
If they're matted on. I don't really know what happens with when y'all go get the mani-pedis and stuff, but they matted it on where it's pretty tough, where it's strong, and so it's like an extra little. There's like an extra little scoop.
Yeah, it's like a fin.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. I'm paying attention now. Not that I wasn't paying attention. I just didn't see that.
Well, I think, just
cool.
as a competitor and as an athlete, my mind goes to, well, I wouldn't have the earring in. I wouldn't have the necklace on. I'm trying to be strict. And then I see some of these girls and they have a 2-inch fingernail on all their finger. And I'm like, oh, my goodness, that's just extra water moving through. That takes a 10th off right there.
Yeah. No, I'm very intrigued. You're piquing my interest here, Matt.
It's brilliant when it comes right down to it. It's like 10 little oars on your fingers. That's all they are there.
That's right.
Hey, and this hit me yesterday when I was talking about Oklahoma City getting a couple of events in the 2028 Olympics, and people are like, "Wow, they have all this time to build the softball stadium and slalom canoe." But I think to myself, I don't know what the situation is as far as the facilities that have been built in Paris or if they're using existing facilities, because I don't think they want new facilities built. You just look at the history in Rio and in Japan and even places like Lillehammer, Sweden. I think all those years ago in the Winter Olympics, they don't have these things have no usage for them anymore. I don't think they want newly built things for Olympics.
Exactly. And, I don't know if you've ever gone down an internet rabbit hole or been sucked into one of those things on Twitter that's like photos of abandoned Olympic venues. And I have, because I go down a rabbit hole, and it's crazy because really nature's almost taken that place back because they're just not used anymore. And that's the thing with these Paris games that they've talked about a lot in the summits and the meetings that we've had, is how green these games are, that they have not built a new venue for these games. And they're trying to be as green as possible because of that reason. They don't want to spend frivolous money building things that aren't going to be utilized, or if they have built something, they already have it planned out for what it will be when the games are gone. And so I think LA is kind of the same thing. I was a little shocked that there's not a softball complex on the West Coast where the sport was so big for so long and continues to be, that would hold enough people. I think the biggest thing with Oklahoma City that kind of sucks is those athletes aren't getting that, Olympic village feel, right? Like the games are so far away from where they're going to be that I don't know how much of an Olympic true feel you're going to get with all, you're not going down the street to go watch basketball while you have a day off, or, I'm going to get in early, so I'm going to go watch all these extra sports, which I know a lot of athletes are going to do while they're, killing time in Paris. So I think that's kind of the one thing that's unfortunate. But at the same time, when you look at the Paris games, you've got surfing in Tahiti because you have to, and then you've got soccer all over the country too. So soccer's not going to be in Paris either. So it is what it is. But it's kind of cool that it's going to be right down the street from us.
They are going green, Phil. They said it's the greenest ever games. Some geothermal cooling system instead of air conditioners.
They cleaned up the Seine River, too, or trying to.
America, USA, they're bringing their own AC units with them over there.
We're so high maintenance.
Alyssa, we'll leave it there. Appreciate you coming on, and we'll have you next week as long as you're around, okay?
I will. All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Alyssa.
You got it, Alyssa. It's Alyssa Orange from Pig Trail Nation with us on Halftime, also our Olympics expert. And I didn't have enough time to bring it up, but I had seen so they're trying to clean up the Seine. There are enough, can I use the word rabble-rousers, that want to throw a little, I can't say a monkey wrench into it because it's something that's smellier than a monkey wrench. Apparently they want to all relieve themselves in the Seine River all at once, in order to muck things up, because people are going to be swimming in the Seine for the Olympics. Yeah, it sounds a little bit like Fight Club. Just tear it all down when you get the chance to. A little V for vengeance also at the Olympics, right?
Don't order the clam chowder.
877-377-6963 for calls and texts. Matt Jones has really good advice for you with that last little bit. And Halftime is back right after this.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
This is halftime.
Get up to $6,000 off on the 2024 GMC Sierras, or $4,000 off and as low as 1.9% financing for 36 months with approved credit at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 2024 GMC Sierra has a 5.3-liter V8 engine, so you can conquer the road with confidence. Up to $6,000 off, or $4,000 in discounts and as low as 1.9% financing. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit GoPaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Barrels and Brews Bottle Shop at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing has everything you need for your favorite activities. Our knowledgeable staff will be glad to help you with the current specials and our new arrivals of must-have bourbons and whiskeys. Hit the cooler for some of the coldest beer in town or choose from our large selection of amazing wines. Order online or call ahead Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing. Barrels and Brews, voted best of the best in Fort Smith. It will put a smile on your face.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Zero, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
This guitar strung across his back. His dusty boots and his Cadillac. A flaming hair just a blowing in the wind. Ain't seen a bed in so long, it's a sin. He left home when he was 17. The rest of the world he don't see. And everybody knows falls. A rolling stone gathers on moss. Now you probably call him a tramp, but his clothes a little deeper than that. He's a highway chap.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elton and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
All right, we got an interesting giveaway to do here. It's not every day that you can give away an experience at a youth football camp that is being run by Landon Jackson. It's probably going to be Arkansas's sacks leader for the second year in a row, 6.5 last year, hopefully a few more than that this next season. And Landon is doing this youth camp on July 20th. It's at Cyclone Field in Russellville. It's being put on by hogtownmemorabilia.com. You can register right now at hogtownmemorabilia.com. Costs $100 per camper. You'll get a camp photo, an autographed photo, camp t-shirt, and a goodie bag, and have a chance to take an individual picture with Landon Jackson. That'll also go for $40 extra. Register online at hogtownmemorabilia.com, and we're going to give away a free registration for this camp as well through our McLarty Daniel text line. That's 877-377-6963. You realize how long it's been since Arkansas had a defender with 10 or more sacks? It has been a very long time.
11 years.
Well, I'm not going to be able to give you the answer right now, Matt, until somebody does text in the correct answer to the question, who was the last Razorback to record 10 or more sacks in a season? I need the name, give me the year, and make sure that you've got somebody that also can be part of this Landon Jackson youth camp in order to win this. Again, it's at Cyclone Field in Russellville on July the 20th. 877-377-6963. Text it in. Who was the last Razorback with 10 or more sacks, and what year did it happen? It has been. You're not that far off, too, Matt. It's been a long time.
I didn't even mean to answer. I forgot that was the trivia question. Yeah, I was giving my best college guess right there. I figured it's been a while. I'm trying to think of some of I know Jamal Anderson and Marcus Harrison, Carlos Hall. Trying to think of some DNs we had that would have a chance to get up there. And there was Jake Beckett. Was he a DN? He was a DN.
Was a defensive end, yes, sir.
But he was more of a run guy than but he was trying to think of some other DNs we've had.
Well, you've got one coming in here, Anton Junkaj, who led FCS with 15 sacks last year, had 21.5 tackles for a loss playing for Albany, and now he's transferring into Arkansas to try to see if he can, I wouldn't say replicate that, because 15 sacks, I don't know anybody that's going to replicate that in the SEC. But, I mean, he's a proven pass rusher at a lower level of college football. And hopefully he's a good pass rusher for Arkansas in the SEC, because I wonder about the double teams on Landon Jackson. Landon is going to be the only Razorback defender who's getting any sort of recognition in the preseason lists. And there's good reason why.
Absolutely.
But that also goes along with getting double teamed and having a really difficult time getting to the quarterback if someone else isn't feared by your opponent.
Well, they'll know how to set the protection. You're right. It just makes the offensive line's job a lot easier. If you only have to worry about one side, you can always set the protection to his side and get extra help being a tight end or a running back. So it helps if you can get to the quarterback without drawing up a blitz, if you can just whoop a guy one-on-one. And Landon's talented enough to do that. But I do think that's where Travis Williams comes in his ability to dial up some pressures and mix it up a little bit. I think he is pretty creative when it comes to being able to get to the quarterback.
Felt like last year he really got a chance to see what Landon can do, because his first year, I know he's still not recovering, but just coming back from a major knee injury. And pretty fearsome season last year. Of course, the Alabama game, 3.5 sacks, if I remember correctly. So that's who they're going to be circling every time Arkansas comes in. Don't let this guy get to our quarterback, because he's the guy that could strip the ball and create some problems for us.
Man, I remember that game, Phil. Landon was single-handedly keeping us in it a little bit. And then I believe it was 3rd and long, and we had a safety get lost with his eyes on a tight end stop route.
Yeah.
And comes up, and they just throw it over on 3rd and long. You're thinking, wow. But, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We do have the correct answer coming in. The correct answer is not Jeb Huckabee. It is not Trey Flowers. It is Jake Beckett. Jake Beckett had 10 sacks in the 2011 season. And we do have the correct answer coming in here. It's out of the 479, but we don't know this person's name. So congratulations. Jordan is your name. And you have won a free registration to the Landon Jackson Youth Camp, which is at Cyclone Field in Russellville on July the 20th. We'll be giving away free registrations, one per day for the next week until we're done with our show next Wednesday. We're not on the air July 4th or July 5th, so you didn't win.
2011.
Yeah, that's right. What did you say 10 years ago? It turns out
11. I said 11 years ago. Yeah.
13 years ago.
Yeah, you're just trying to think of somebody up there. But did Beckett played for? I guess he played for the Patriots for a little bit.
Yeah.
That's another Petrino guy that they won a lot of games up there. They were. And when you're in that type of offense and you're putting up that many points, you know this. When the other team has to pass, it gives you a chance to get more sacks. And we were playing with the lead a lot of times with Bobby Petrino, and so it's kind of you got to pin your ears back and go make a play.
Who's your favorite pass rusher of all time?
Reggie White, Lawrence Taylor. Those would be my two. Those are my two ends right there. And I know there's a lot of great defensive ends. But Myles Garrett, I think right now in the game, I played a lot against a guy named Dwight Freeney, Reggie Mathis. Indianapolis Colts had two of them because they played with the lead a lot.
I think Freeney's going into Canton. I think he just got elected into Canton.
So they got to pin their ears back. I mean, you look at how the Colts, had their roster going again, and we've talked about this too. When being in division, we're trying to beat the Colts. They were winning your division, so you kind of build your team to try to do that, but. Robert Mathis and Dwight Freeney, they could get to the quarterback.
Can't think of Dwight Freeney without thinking of the spin move.
Oh, my goodness. He had it down. They had it down,
and you knew it was coming and still couldn't stop it.
Little Bob Sanders in the back end when he was healthy was just a bullet back there. I mean, then you had Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne, Dwight Clark. I mean, you start looking at the pieces. Edgerrin James in his prime there a little bit. Man, they were salty. Did
you see Peyton at the baseball game last night? Sitting right next to Rick, right next to, am I forgetting old boy's name? The basketball coach.
Ricky Barnes?
Right there next to him. Two of them next to each other.
I heard he said they're coming for all sports, is what Peyton said. He said, this baseball's nice, but we're coming for all of them.
Well, I don't know if I'd put Tennessee near the top of the list of national championship contenders in football just yet, but I want to get my eyes on this Nico Ayamaleva because what Bill King tells us, and we'll talk to him in about 30 minutes, he seems like the kind of quarterback that might have a chance to lead them there.
Man, Tennessee, Josh Heupel's coming back to play Oklahoma. Yeah, well, I guess the question I was going to ask was about the baseball teams with A&M and Tennessee. When you're looking at their roster, which one of them do you think has a better chance to make it back next year? Do they have a lot of their guys coming back, or are they all rebuilding?
I think Tennessee is going to end up losing a ton here. I mean, they're going to lose a lot of guys to the draft. But the other part of this too, Matt, is that I think they have the top-rated recruiting class coming in, and they're going to bring in guys in the portal too to save things a little bit. A&M is an older team, if I can remember correctly. Now they have some guys that I really like coming back. In fact, I think I'd put Jace Laviolette at the front of the list for Golden Spikes for next year. Their right fielder probably be in center field next season, and the guy was playing the postseason with various. I wouldn't say injuries, but just he was banged up and didn't really seem to affect him all that much because he did hit pretty well. I like Laviolette a lot. I like him a lot. And they got Grahovic, the third baseman, who moved to the outfield as well, SEC Freshman of the Year. So I think A&M is built to last too. Part of it is also, do you keep your coach? If they keep Schlossnagle, they'll keep that team intact to a point. Now, I brought it up yesterday, and it is true. Campbell University Baseball, the Camels, Division I, SoCon, lost their coach. He's the new Ohio State head coach. Matt, literally every player with eligibility at Campbell entered the transfer portal. All of them. They don't have a team now. Now, I'm not going to say that would happen if Schlossnagle takes the Texas job at A&M, but I think they would lose quite a bit. I think because it's who guys are going to play for. They're playing for coaches. 877-377-6963. When we come back, we'll talk with Brian in Ozark, so stay with us.
This is halftime.
Colorworks Paint Body and Barling offers professional automotive painting.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McCarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McCarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McCarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacalé, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. From baseball, golf, soccer, right to all the top fights in UFC, MMA, and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BLEAV for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
This song hit number 2 without one guitar. Gary Wright traveled with George Harrison to India for spiritual enlightenment and wrote Dream Weaver, describing God as infinite love and compassion, seeing him through the trials of the night. Of the 330 million gods of Hinduism, not one will get you to the morning light, but only through the blood of Jesus Christ. Satan is a master deceiver, weaving many into make-believers. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and HitThatLine.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in DeQueen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you. Are you ready to give your family the best 4th of July experience yet? USA Fireworks wants to make that happen with the USA Fireworks Bangin' Giveaway. USA Fireworks has helped Arkansans more than 30 years. Go to hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks and enter for your chance to win a fireworks show worth $2,000 retail. Again, hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks. For more information about wholesale prices, go to usafireworks.org.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned.
Times I remember finding simple pleasure. Books and blue jeans. It's hard to
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
We'll go right to the McClarty Daniel Hotline as we wrap up our second hour of halftime with Brian in Ozark. Hey, Brian.
Hey,
you got a baseball program looking for a coach. Who you think they're going to get?
You know, I really don't have any idea. I'm not going to say that. What's the name from Tennessee? I'm not going to say that he won't go. Yeah, I mean, unless he's just in love with that program and wants to stay there. Texas has the money to hire him from Tennessee easy, but, you know, what he's just done, he'll probably stay there, and I really don't know who they're going to get. But I do have two quick comments that you're talking about Landon Jackson, and I believe that he is Arkansas's defense, no doubt about that. Although, I believe, my first comment, I believe his little brother Lance is going to be a star at the University of Texas. Will be better in the long run. Second comment would be as good as Landon Jackson is as a defensive end, I'd put a bet that he doesn't get a sack against Kevin Banks and Texas's offensive line in that game. I don't believe he'll get close to Quinn Ewers. Kevin Banks hadn't allowed a sack in the 3 years he's been there. So, anyways, I'll just hang up and see if you get the list, and y'all have a great day.
Okay, thanks, Brian. I should have expected if I brought anything up about football and about anything that a player may end up doing that we'd get a response from Brian that it won't happen against Texas. And now I'm looking forward to that game for independent of no other reason than hoping that Landon Jackson gets at least one sack.
I wouldn't put it past Landon Jackson. I think he is a talent. I think he's a guy that's going to get looked at when it goes talking about a guy that's going to play on Sundays. So I'm with you, Phil. I'm looking forward to the opportunity, looking forward to the matchup.
And Lance Jackson is certainly very highly rated. A commit to Texas, 4-star, and I know he gave Arkansas a look too. But remember, Landon didn't start at Arkansas. I started at LSU. We'll see if Lance stays at Texas, as long as Brian might like him to. We move into our third hour of halftime. 877-373 for calls and texts on the McClarty Daniel Hotline, and back right after this.
Get up to $6,000 off on the 2024 GMC Sierras, or $4,000 off and as low as 1.9% financing for 36 months with approved credit at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 2024 GMC Sierra has a 5.3-liter V8 engine, so you can conquer the road with confidence. Up to $6,000 off, or $4,000 in discounts and as low as 1.9% financing. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Largemouth bass will be spawning soon at ponds and lakes all over Arkansas and Oklahoma. One of the best lures to catch them on at this time is the famous Yum Dinger. We make them by the truckloads in Fort Smith in 3, 4, 5, and 6-inch sizes, and they are in tackle boxes of bass anglers all over the U.S. and all over the world. Wacky Rigging, the 5-inch model, can't be beat for spawning bass. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Yum Dinger.
Look out, River Valley, the goose is loose. Bentonville Brewing Company's Space Goose is a daring take on a New England-style IPA
with haze for days. With notes of tropical citrus, guava, passion fruit, and pineapple, it's creamy, zingy, and souse the taste buds. Pleasantly tangy, lusciously cloudy, and thoroughly pleasing, it's not just your new summer beer. It's your new favorite beer. Ask for Bentonville Brewing Space Goose Hazy IPA.
When it's time for breakfast, Calico County is making it all from scratch. Yet the dedicated early morning crew at Calico are cooking up and serving buttermilk pancakes, moist biscuits, rich waffles, country fried potatoes, 3 types of gravy, and of course their famous cinnamon rolls and much more. They serve all of this and a lot more 7 days a week until 11 a.m. Stop in, call ahead, or get it to go. Or just come by and pick up a dozen cinnamon rolls for the office. For breakfast, lunch, dinner, or catering, roll on into Calico County. They're home cooking good. Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford.
Summer camp, vacation, travel baseball, repeat. Family reunion, lake time, I'm beat. A parent in the summertime is a glorified chauffeur, but if you find yourself in a fender bender, you'll need a good lawyer. I'm Jackie Mock. With 12 years of experience in insurance and car wreck cases, I can help get you back on the road for more summer fun. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Now we will share a lifetime of the fondest memories.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunshine, just a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Our high temperatures today, right around 95. Scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight. An overnight low will drop down in the low to mid 70s, and then a 50-50 chance of showers and storms Wednesday. Highs on Wednesday, upper 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 65 days. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that's the perspective. If I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Take it to the house.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no mock at halftime.
Even one Razorback.
And vintage Matt Jones.
1, 2, 3. Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Back on halftime into our third hour on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston at the wheel, and Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio in about 15 minutes. I was looking around here and saw that EA Sports College Football 2025 has put out, I guess they're going to make things a little bit difficult depending on what stadium you choose to play in. For the game that's being released. Matt, what's the toughest stadium you played in, college football?
Well, you know, the stadium, the atmosphere definitely helps. It helps when the other team's good as well. You know, we won down in Tuscaloosa. That was pretty cool to go down there and win on that field. We lost at Rocky Top. That was a battle. The Swamp, you know, it's not really a good field. It's you're dehydrated as soon as you step off the bus. Maybe the Georgia Dome when we had to play Georgia in the SEC title.
I mean, that was a road game essentially, right?
It felt like they were piping music sound into the speakers, which it came out afterwards that they were. Because you couldn't hear anything. It was absolutely ridiculous. You couldn't hear 5 feet away.
Well, EA Sports has factored in historical home winning percentages, home attendance. I guess they got to figure out the decibel level in some of these stadiums too. and have put out a list of the toughest places to play in college football. And I'm assuming that you can factor in this home field advantage into the game, just like you would, like if you're going to look at betting lines in college football, supposed to add 3 points for the home team, right? Maybe the same idea based on the difficulty of playing inside the stadium because you're on the road. I also wonder, though, will that factor in intimidation factor to officials? We're giving the home team the call. Would they do the same thing for college basketball? Because we know very well home teams get the call. If you're going to factor in all the sound and the attendance and the craziness of the fans, I think you should probably factor in the idea that the home teams get more calls, don't they? I mean, if it's in the game, it might as well be in the game.
Yeah, there are always those guys at EA Sports. It's in the game. They're always coming up with something, aren't they? They gotta flip the product, and they're doing it. I guess to me, it's make the game equal. I guess if you're doing a simulation or something, but you want to play on a neutral site when you're playing against somebody. You don't want to have to beat the officials and everybody else. That doesn't seem like a way to go.
Razorback Stadium is on this list. It is ranked number 23 by EA Sports in terms of toughest places for teams to play on the road. But that would also put Arkansas behind as far as the SEC. A&M, Alabama, and LSU are 1 through 3. Kyle Field, number 1. I mean, we're looking at historical home win percentage. I guess that has to factor in, but also 100,000 people in the stadium and all the wild, crazy things that
the
they'll
12th
do.
man.
The 12th man, which that was another. Schlossnagle referred to the 12th man yesterday. That's only football. It should be the 11th man for baseball and the 6th man for basketball. This whole 12th man thing has to change. So A&M, Alabama, LSU, Georgia, Oklahoma, Florida, Tennessee, Auburn, Texas, all ranked ahead of Arkansas. So that would put Arkansas 9th toughest place to play if you're playing EA Sports College Football 2025. Puts Arkansas right between Michigan State and Boise State.
East Lansing, the Sparties. Yeah, I guess so. Boise State, that blue field.
Again, it's got to be the home win percentage for Boise's got to be crazy at that stadium since the program turned into what they are.
Where's Notre Dame? Are they top 5?
21st.
Wow, I figured they would be in the top 12. I figured they would be 21st. Okay.
Now, I've been to games at 4 of the top 5 that they've got here since I've been part of the radio crew for Arkansas football. I've been to A&M, Alabama, LSU, and Georgia. Those are 1 through 5. The toughest place that I've experienced, and it wasn't tough for me, it was Georgia. But that was remember that? That was
Between the hedges.
That was a game in the 2021 season. That was a shutout loss. 3 turnovers in the first, I think 3 possessions. Never got out of the shadow of the student section in the first quarter. It was 21-0 before you could even take a breath. And the home atmosphere definitely had something to do with it. That could be the loudest experience I've had in college football. I remember they put the decibel meter up, and it was over 95. I think it was more intimidating, if you could say that, than LSU, than Alabama. And I have not been to an A&M game because every time Arkansas plays them, it's at the Cowboys Stadium. But that'll change after this next year.
Well, our fans, man, we do. I think that's a testament a little bit to our fans, Phil. We have some of the best fans in the world, and they get it going. There's only one hog call. There's a lot of Bears. There's a lot of Tigers, but there's only one Razorback.
Now you just need to give them something to get crazy for.
That's right.
I remember what that felt like in 2021. It wasn't just the Texas game. You had some really great atmospheres for that game because fans started to believe that they were watching something that felt special that year. That's the thing. I mean, if you want to create tough atmospheres, it's the same idea as how do you recruit the best players in your state? How do you recruit better players outside the state? Win. give them reason to show up and scream, they'll do exactly that. I mean, you've got plenty of evidence of some of this. Mike Leach said the toughest place he ever coached was against Arkansas at War Memorial Stadium.
That was the best that I played in college, Phil. No question about it.
I know Greg McElroy has talked that the loudest stadium he ever played in was Razorback Stadium coming in with Alabama. This is a fan base that, hey, I've been at Baum Walker when the place is going absolutely nuts. Been inside Bud Walton Arena when the place is going absolutely nuts. Those are two atmospheres that are, in my estimation, incomparable in the sports that they represent. Football can be the same way. You just got to give them something to stand up and scream their heads off for, because they do it for basketball. They've felt the reason why. They do it for baseball. They feel reason why. People don't necessarily show up with the same attitude or expectation for football. And, I mean, look, the last 13 years basically tells you the reason why. But it is cool to see Arkansas as one of the toughest places to play in the country, according to folks that, again, they have to do some research into this. If they're looking at decibel readings, if they're looking at home winning percentage, home attendance, and just the overall atmosphere at that game, how much did the last 13 years go into Arkansas being ranked number 23? It feels like it's like a sleeping beast ready to wake up, hopefully wake up sometime soon, and show that it can be one of the toughest places to play, because the home record didn't necessarily show that last year. Hopefully this next year it will.
They're hungry, Phil.
Fans are hungry,
They're
that's
hungry.
for sure.
That's right. You can sense it. You can see just the fanfare that came with Coach Cal, just all that hoopla that was going on in the atmosphere just for a coach for the basketball team. Think if this football team does anything, man, these fans are dynamite and they'll go crazy.
Take a call from Jeff in Fayetteville, then we'll break. We'll have Bill King coming up in just a moment. Hey, Jeff, thanks for calling. What's going on?
Did you guys watch, I know you did, but did you watch most of the College World Series? Did you guys watch the games?
I watched, well, I couldn't watch Saturday. I listened to the entire game. I was driving back from Mississippi and couldn't watch, but I listened to every pitch Saturday, watched everything Friday, watched everything yesterday.
Is it just me, or did that organist, or did a baseball game break out at the organist concert?
Are you not a fan of organ music at baseball games, Jeff?
Not at all. I mean, there has not ever been a song that I've ever heard that I said, wow, I'd really like to hear an organist cover that song.
I think there's probably a lot of people inside baseball stadiums that agree. It's just when you're there at the game, it feels right.
Well, I understand a little bit, but he was brutal. Go back and watch the game. I mean, between every pitch, certainly between every pitching change, every commercial, it was absolutely brutal. I had to turn down the sound. I mean, every once in a while, it's nice. I get it, the nostalgia, organ playing, baseball games, but, things do change, and I'd much rather listen to Snoop than that organist.
Well, maybe he could. Maybe he could cover Gin and Juice at some point. Maybe that would be something we could get the Omaha organist to pull off. Nobody does. Do any organists cover rap songs? Come on, there's got to be one or two of them that do that out there. If not, I just gave you a really good idea for a great musical career. Quick break on halftime. Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio stops by in just a moment.
This is halftime.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insights and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Drive a compact SUV that has more style, power, and technology with the 2023 Buick Envision at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get financing as low as 0.9% for 36 months with approved credit and $3,500 in factory discounts. The Buick Envision. It's all about you and designed to inspire. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Waiting on someone to bale your hay? Come in to Gray Brothers Equipment and let us show you how affordable only your own Kubota hay equipment can be. Bale your hay when it's ready, not when it's burned up. With economical pricing at Gray Brothers and affordable interest rates from Kubota, this year is the year to bale your own hay. That's Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown Bar District.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up. Home. Drop off downtown Bar District.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Fort Smith's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, 2-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howell in Van Buren.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I don't know your name. Yeah. I can play your game when we leave. I see you hanging around. You wanna ride in my big
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All guests join us on the McClarty Daniel Hotline. That's where we have Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio with us here. Hosts Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 on WNSR. King of college football talk, and a guy who loves himself some college baseball too. Bill, we don't usually say this, man, but we say this with college football. The College World Series was a little bit chalky this year. You really can't say that very often, but this year you can.
baseball gods don't like the 1 seed winning it all. And Tony Vitello, who is now, if he weren't already, a fully confirmed rock star, didn't flinch with all those odds, at least historically, against him. And he's truly a rock star. I know he was on the staff, so Arkansas fans may look at that a little different, but he is, I don't know what else he can do, frankly.
Well, all right, so what is it about this team that you think did where the other teams can't? It's tough to put your finger on it, but just think of some of the things. It's not just being the number 1 seed. SEC regular season champion, SEC tournament champion. They went all the way to Sunday in Hoover. Did not affect them one bit in June.
No.
Then the number 1 seed overall. I mean, this season, look, you're a national champion, you're a great team. This team, I think, stands apart from some of the other national champions in terms of just what they carried into the postseason, too.
I think the only team to win 60 games, right? The only team to have 5 players hit over 20 home runs. The statistics are endless. I just probably chemistry, but this is a wicked hitting team. You're not going to. They're going to lose everybody in their lineup, other than Dean Curley, the freshman, who plays shortstop. And they're going to be tough to replace. You don't replace hitting. You cannot replace a Christian Moore with another guy that's going to do what he's done. But I think it's wicked hitting, just absolute, the best hitting lineup in the country. And frankly, guys, let me flip it. A pitching staff that does not have an ace. It's got a bunch of pretty good pieces, and Frank Anderson, their pitching coach, has pieced it together all the way to the bitter end. Their ace is a guy named A.J. Russell, who really never got to pitch much this year and just had Tommy John a few weeks ago. They weren't able to use him efficiently at all this year. It's an amazing story. That 22 team that didn't even get there because of Notre Dame had incredibly much better pitching than this team does.
Peyton Manning said it's the start of a bunch of championships there, but they already won some this last year in terms of other sports. I know football didn't win a division championship, but they had another good year, and basketball wins the SEC tournament. Women's basketball is still trying to get back to the level that they had been under Pat Summitt and then under Holly Warlick at the start of her tenure there. And then baseball wins the national title. How close do you think their football program is to being able to maybe challenge Georgia in the East? We don't have an East anymore. I mean, to challenge to get to Atlanta.
I think they're a borderline playoff team. I think offensively, they're plenty good enough. We've talked about the quarterback. Defensive side of the ball, they're deep and good up front. After that, I think there's a lot of question marks. And not only do I question some of their playmakers, but after we get linebackers and back, but I don't think they're well coached. Their defensive back coach is terrible, and I don't know that the coordinator's all that good either. That worries me. That would be a concern about Tennessee. I would not have them in the playoffs based on where I'm sitting right now.
So looking, Tennessee goes to Oklahoma this year, which will be a very they had an interesting series a few years ago, but now as league opponents, and of course Heupel returning back to Norman. What did you think of Oklahoma signing Brent Venables to this extension after his second year?
I thought it was a mistake. I'm still trying to work through what I think of Brent Venables as the head coach at Oklahoma. He's obviously a terrific defensive coordinator. And last year they won 10 games. So I need to be open-minded. I haven't closed the book there, but I don't think he's earned that extension. I know that's a show of solitude, and you can present that to the recruits and everybody. Hey, we're all on the same page. We got him locked in even longer. I don't know if that's a good idea.
It's like you're joining a new league, and so you want to project some sort of sense of stability. Is that what you think it's about?
Probably. I mean, that's part of the equation. And I know he's beloved there. He was defensive coordinator on the national championship team. He was there for a long, long run. Now, guys, frankly, he left Oklahoma in a huff. They denied this, but he left there in a huff to go to Clemson because Stoops hired his brother to come back, who was a former defensive coordinator. And they were able to get by all of that and bring him back.
when Venables left Clemson, do you ever see Clemson getting back to the level that they were under Dabo? That's a program that I don't think will make it back there. Now, I don't even think they're the cream of the ACC any longer. But when did you start thinking potentially that the foundation might be cracking there? Was it Venables leaving? Is it, Dabo's just disavowal of anything dealing with the transfer portal? Or was it just all these things coming together?
A lot of coordinator continuity during that stretch when they were so good. And then two other elements. Generational quarterbacks and Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence. Literally hard to get a guy like that, right, to play that good and be that good.
Even Taj Boyd was okay, right?
Taj Boyd was very, very good. He got that whole thing kick-started. And then, guys, absolute dude after dude on the defensive line. That's not the biggest problem they have. The biggest problem they've had is the offense. Quarterback play hasn't been as good. No feature running backs. And, all those receivers who were used to making plays at Clemson, they don't have those guys anymore. And the offensive line hadn't been so good. It's the majority of it, guys, is the offense.
I think of, was that DeAndre Hopkins, Sammy Watkins?
Oh, yeah.
They had a tight end or two. Had a
T. Higgins.
Yeah, man, they had some dudes.
Yep, lots of them. And the next guy would always step up. That's not happening right now.
Did you see, I don't know if you've been watching any of these track trials, did you see that 16-year-old get sixth place in the 400 meters, which that qualifies him for the 400 meters relay team if he gets chosen, but 16-year-old got sixth place. I just thought that was wild.
Obviously, someone's recruiting him to football at some point, right?
Well, he's, how big can you be? He's a little bitty thing, and he had a bad lane. He had lane 2 on the championship bout, but man, it was pretty cool to see those youngsters. There's been some college flair to these Olympic trials.
Tennessee used to try that with the track came back 35 years ago, Johnny Majors. And they brought in a guy, actually a really good player, played for the Bears, Willie Gault, who was also a track guy. But usually, if you go recruit a track guy to come play football, he's just a track guy and he's not a football player. And just because he can win a race doesn't make him a football player. And I've seen that fail more times than I've seen it work.
Well, I think we saw that too with Malik Hornsby, who was quarterbacking at Arkansas, then Texas State. Right. Now he's a receiver at Arkansas State. Straight line speed only does so much, and a lot of track is basically about the straight line speed. You got to be able to take a hit too, of course.
Right. And guys, I mean, Matt, functional. But football is not the track. It's a functional sport speed, and track doesn't measure that.
Yeah, you'd like to see those guys on the basketball court a little bit. That's what I always say with the receivers, running backs, and D-backs. If you have them on your campus, you do your football stuff. But then, hey, let's go over to the gym for an hour. Let me see the guys that can dribble, can pass, can catch, that have some eye-hand coordination. Usually, those are your guys that can play your all-conference type of players.
Another one, guys, and I've had coaches tell me this, is go to a basketball game, high school game, and you see a kid who's 6'3", 250 out there, and he's athletic. That's a defensive tackle. Mm-hmm. That's a future D tackle. I've seen coaches make that evaluation. Now, that's an odd body type for the basketball court, right? But if you find one of those, you can usually translate them into something if they have twitch and if they have the want to be physical. But you're right. That is a very athletic job on the court where you can evaluate the football abilities.
Bill, we were kicking this around last segment. EA Sports has listed the top 25 most difficult stadiums for opposing teams to play in, and I guess they're factoring it into the game somehow. Just they have Kyle Field, Bryant-Denny, and Tiger Stadium in LSU's the 1 through 3 most difficult places to play. They got Arkansas number 23. What to you has been maybe the loudest stadium you have visited for a game, or what you think might be the toughest place for opponents to go in and win?
I think it's Saturday night in Baton Rouge is probably the toughest. And again, guys, the only thing I don't like about that is that take into account how good the team is, because if you want to just take into account your chances of winning, going to Georgia is the worst place you can go, right? So I don't know where Georgia's ranked on there, but You don't want to go in. You're not winning in there.
I think it's funny. You see about so Northwestern's building a new football stadium. They're building it on the right where Ryan Field is located right now. So then they also have built a temporary stadium. Bill, I hope that's not a ride for you. They got a temporary stadium. Yes.
My wife told me to quit doing drugs. I think they got me. I think they're coming.
They wouldn't have known where you are if you weren't on your cell phone right now doing an interview with us too. Yeah. Do you see they're building a temporary stadium right there on Lake Michigan at Northwestern? This is going to be, I wouldn't say it's going to be the toughest place to play, but it might be one of the more unique, if not the most unique stadium in college football, just in the fact that it's going to be around for 2 years. And it is literally, I mean, I think they almost built a little peninsula on the lake to put this stadium on.
The picture of Evanston, Illinois, in the campus, and then you're looking back at that beautiful lake, and then you can see the Chicago skyline. That's the most gorgeous practice facility layout in America that I know of. I think I've seen them all. Now, it's too bad they're not going to be any good in football. That's not going to win any games for you, but that is absolutely breathtaking, no doubt.
Yeah, it is beautiful. Bill, we'll let you go and run from those vehicles, okay?
I see you guys later. Bye.
Bob and weave. Don't worry about your straight line speed. Make sure you can cut.
That's right. Don't let them get a real angle on you. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts on the McClarty Daniel hotline. BE says, was that Bill King or Aaron Torres? You're right, BE. It's just Bill would also, he would stay away from the house plants anytime he's doing a segment with us. Hey, don't forget to get over to hitthatline.com. Make sure you enter win for your chance for a $2,000 retail fireworks show from USA Fireworks. Chris Brewer has it going on right now at USA Fireworks. They help Arkansans enjoy the holiday year after year, help with school fundraisers, adoption funding, city functions, and all sorts of other fundraisers. USAFireworks.org to learn more, and hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks. Enter for your chance to win a $2,000 retail fireworks show for the July 4th holiday. And halftime's in the home stretch. We'll be back right after this.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
It started as a dream, and here you are. It's moving day. But wait, isn't moving supposed to be stressful? Oh, that's right. You bought your home using Weichert Realtors. Your Weichert agent guided you from start to finish to help make sure we found you your perfect place. Dream, move, home, Weichert. Call your local Weichert Realtors office today and make your move. And look for our bright yellow signs. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
One of my favorite compliments we give here at Red River Ram Dodge Chrysler Jeep is when people talk about our laid-back atmosphere. We call it a family atmosphere, but don't be mistaken. That doesn't mean we're not going to work really hard for your business. That's why I've instructed my team to give 20% more for your trade and up to $5,000 extra. On top of our already discounts, that some of them are double the rebate. So if you want a great deal on a new Ram Dodge Chrysler Jeep, make that beautiful drive or check us out online at RedRiverDodge.com.
During Make This the Summer event.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Now offering same-day crowns. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit GoPaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
Attention homeowners, storm season is here, and it's time to take action to protect your property. At H&H Tree Service, we've got you covered. Licensed and insured, our expert team specializes in removing dangerous trees and limbs, keeping you and your loved ones safe. Plus, count on us for thorough storm cleanup services. Our service area includes the entire River Valley and parts of Oklahoma. Don't wait until it's too late. Call H&H Tree Service at 479-227-9480. H&H Tree Service, your safety is our priority.
Home ownership. At Progressive, we know it's part of the American dream. It's sea to shining sea, and water damage as far as the eye can see. It's freshly mowed grass, and a fence that was freshly vandalized by a pack of unruly teens. It's also around-the-clock protection when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, which can help keep the American dream of home ownership alive and kicking. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Rumors spreading round. Let's take the time. Right this back outside the game. And you know what I'm talking about. Just let me know if you wanna go to that home out on the range. We got a lot of nice girls. I'm ready. Well, here it's fine. If you got the time, I have to get yourself down. Down here it's fine. I'm on every night.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Well, we may have a new transfer for the baseball team, which would be the second that has occurred while we've been on the air today. This is a tweet from Rocco Pepe. Rocco Pepe played at Fresno State last year, and his tweet says, "Woo Pigs." I think it's just supposed to be Woo Pig, but I think he'll get into that at some point. Rocco Pepe, going to be an Arkansas Razorback. I can get with that name. Rocco, for one thing, sounds like somebody that should be able to hit. If your name is Rocco, you hit at you hit something. You're either a boxer or you're a defender in hockey and you're really good at hip checks, and or you're a baseball player and you just hit dongs. And it looks like you did a little bit of that. 14 home runs, 327 batting average, and slugged .607. Looks like a free swinger, just 7 walks, but not a lot of strikeouts either. I mean, this is kind of rare. The guy was hit by 20 pitches and took just 7 walks this year. 20 hit by pitches, 28 strikeouts, 14 homers for a guy who has played at Long Beach State and Fresno State and now will be an Arkansas Razorback. Plays all three outfield positions, can play a little infield too. And that's great. That's so another hitter to add to the list. It's the 11th position player, Rocco Pepi. Pepe's is the name of one of my favorite sandwich shops back in Pittsburgh. That's the one that made the Roethlisberger. When Roethlisberger took over as the quarterback and they caught fire, they made a Roethlisberger at Pepe's.
One ingredient for each letter of his name. Yeah, it was huge.
I mean, it was so big you couldn't fit your mouth around that thing.
He took Pittsburgh over, man. Whenever he got there, and they had the Bill Cowher going. What, second year he won a Super Bowl? First year or second year? Second year, man.
No, first year takes over for Tommy Maddox, and took them to the AFC title game. Lose to Brady and the Pats. The next year, they went on the road for all the playoffs. Beat Cincinnati, Denver, then Indianapolis, and then beat the Seahawks in the Super Bowl with a little bit of help from the officials too, I will say. So you got a new pitcher and a new hitter as well that has joined Arkansas over the last, I guess, 18 hours. The pitcher is the only pitcher that has committed to Arkansas so far. I know I saw that they had a former Oregon State pitcher on campus visiting last weekend, so they're certainly looking at least a few veterans to join this talented younger pitching staff. The new pitcher's name is Landon Beidelshies, or Beidelshies. I couldn't find the correct pronunciation of his name. And he's a guy that was the Friday night pitcher for Ohio State. I'd expect he'd be Saturday or Sunday guy, or at least battle for those positions at Arkansas. And now you got Rocco Pepi, which doesn't need any pronunciation because that's just 10 letters and it's easy to read and it's easy to say.
Rocco. Let's go.
Dude, that's a great name. And who was it? Disappointed Sports Fan asks about the player who was annoying from Oklahoma State. That was Rock Riggio. Now, I don't know if Rock was short for Rocco, but I'd imagine it probably was. I would think it'd have to be.
Your boy Tommy Maddox. So rookie year, we play up there, Heinz Field. This is before Hines Ward had his cinematic big deal when he was returning kicks in Batman Begins, I believe. Was that that one? But your boy Tommy Maddox threw Rashean Mathis a pick six in overtime, and we walked off the field victorious. He didn't start the game.
I think I remember this game.
Yeah, and I mean, you play Pittsburgh. It's a two chin strap game. You know, it's just you're gonna get hit. You got to be physical, and it was one of those 17-17, 24-24 type of games, and they put him in, and sure enough, he threw to a slot. Rashean jumps in front of it. Game over. Everybody go home.
Who was the guy that hurt him while Roethlisberger came in? I mean, it was pretty close to a Brady Bledsoe situation. You know, I mean, although Brady wasn't a rookie, and he also wasn't a first-round pick, so a little bit different, but also similar in the idea that they know those guys never got their jobs back. Roethlisberger just stayed as the quarterback from that point on, and I don't know how many more passes Tommy Gunn was what they were calling him, Tommy Maddox threw at Arkansas after that. Not that many, hardly any of them.
Jason,
yeah,
your boy, who's your red rifle from TCU that played for Cincinnati, and I don't know, I can't think of his name.
Yeah, he was at Dallas too, Cincinnati.
JJ Watt goes, we're going to turn him into the red BB gun. He didn't think that was funny.
Why am I forgetting his name? Because he was there for a long time too. Somebody help us out with this, because I can't type the Google search in quickly enough. It happens a little too slowly, unfortunately. 877 Andy Dalton. Thank you,
Andy Dalton.
That's right. 877-377-6963. I was going to give that number, but you already helped us out with that. Woo Pig Steven, thank you very much. Hey, C Unit, if you go onto our rundown. Is he stepped out?
He had it to 10.
Some things happen every once in a while. That's right. Well, I was going to go. I can't play this because I've got my camera going, so I can't play this thing for you. But I saw you got to look at the replay of this Baltimore Orioles fan catching a foul ball at Camden Yards last night. You been to Camden Yards, Matt?
No, sir.
Up in the upper deck, first base side. I guess you could say right field line. It's right where the stands end. So, if he takes another 3 or 4 steps, he's going to fall all the way down, 200 feet or so to the walkway below him. And he's the only guy that's out there. He's got a phone in one hand. He's got a beer bottle in the other. And a foul ball is coming out his way. Hit at 107 miles an hour, I will add. And the guy puts the phone in the hand holding the drink and catches this thing one-handed. Where, if he would have taken 3 more steps to his right, he would have fallen off of the stadium upper deck. He would have killed himself going after this foul ball. But he just very calmly puts the phone in the hand with the drink and then makes a one-handed catch without even putting the other stuff down. It was a beautiful, probably the best play in Major League Baseball last night.
Where does it compare to your catch that you had a couple days ago?
And I didn't even bring this up. This is why I was bringing
it up.
And
I asked if you brought your mitt with you because, you go to the game. Sometimes you like to bring your mitt with you.
I was at a Travelers game on Friday night, sitting next to Justin Acree from The Buzz and Jim Withrow, former high school football coach at Sylvan Hills, and they've got their kids with them. And we are sitting, I guess you would say it'd be there's the first level and then a little walkway and a second level. And so we're about 3 rows back in that second level. And we're behind home plate on the first base side a little bit. I tell the 2 kids when I sit down, because I'm just messing with them, it's like, you look how close we are. You realize we're getting a foul ball today. Like, there is going to be a foul ball hit right here to these chairs. And I've seen it happen before because I used to work here. And I told them the story of it catching 2 foul balls 10 pitches apart in the radio booth in the 2009 season. And sure enough, Matt, at some point, I don't remember the batter, but I think it was the 5th inning, and he hits a ball that just loops over the net. And I said to them while it's in the air, this is the one. And it hits the wall of the suites behind us, and then it bounced just to the seat to my right where one of the kids is sitting. And by that time I had stood up, catch the thing with 2 hands, no bobble, didn't dive, didn't duck, didn't dodge. Bubba Carpenter, if you're listening, always accusing me of diving out of the way, which I do not do. And at that point, you've got to take your round of applause, right? People are impressed by this.
Absolutely.
I'm already standing up. Show them all the ball. Didn't take a bow. Didn't sign any autographs, but I did look around for a kid, and there's this adorable little, I think she was a 4 or 5-year-old girl sitting 3 rows behind me with like 4 or 5 members of her family, looked at her, tossed her the ball, and then I sat with her for a little bit and her family, and she had told me she had never held a baseball before. That was the first game she'd ever been to, and I hope I helped create a fan by doing that, because you are supposed to give it to a kid. If you don't, you will go to baseball hell. And I've lived there before in some minor league seasons that felt like hell. 51 wins, 89 losses, hello. But it made me feel really good. I didn't get interviewed. I didn't bring a glove. I didn't need it that day.
The unit's back.
Well, it's too late, too, because I already talked about the thing I was talking about. But I thought it was pretty cool to see this guy make a catch where, again, I thought his life was in danger. When I watched the replay of it, I'm thinking, don't keep going, because I know he's going to make the catch. They're not going to show me a highlight of a guy falling out of the stands. And I kept thinking to myself, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Because I've been to Camden Yards. I've sat in the upper deck at that stadium. I'd be a little afraid going after a ball out there. Like if you ever went to Shea Stadium, New York, the Mets, it was the scariest place to ever sit in the upper deck. The pitch, the angle, looking down, I was afraid I was going to fall out of my chair just to the angle of the chair. So it's cool to catch a foul ball. That kind of stuff doesn't happen very often. JT, I'll send you an autograph. Just send me your address. I'll send it to you. Signed in blood. Stay with Halftime. We're back to wrap the show up right after this.
This is Halftime.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
Tailgating scene on a perfect fall day in the natural state. Calling the Hogs with 75,000 plus as the Razorbacks run through the A. And all the things you love about football game days are near. Football season tickets are now on sale for marquee matchups against Tennessee, LSU, Ole Miss, and longtime rival and new SEC foe, Texas.
Slant, caught, touchdown, Arkansas.
Experience game day on the Hill and secure your seat and tailgating space by visiting ArkansasRazorbacks.com or by calling the Hogs at 800-982-HOGS.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street at Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Dallas Street Dental. Refuse to compromise when it comes to replacing missing teeth. Dr. Bill Ligon at Dallas Street Dental can make your smile look, feel, and function almost exactly the way it did before you lost any teeth. In some cases, even better. Dental implants function like your natural teeth and make it possible for you to enjoy those juicy steaks this grilling season. Look younger and smile with confidence with dental implants from Dallas Street Dental. Schedule your free implant consultation today at 479-452-6600.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Hello, this is Mike Giacomo at Arvest Bank, inviting you to join us in the fight against hunger during Arvest's 14th annual Million Meals campaign. All the money goes directly to our communities, and there is no amount too small. Even just $1 provides 5 meals to those in need. Now, through the end of the month, you can easily make a monetary contribution at your nearest Arvest branch. You can also donate online at arvest.com/millionmeals. And if you're an Arvest customer, you can go directly to Arvest Go mobile app. Arvest makes no representation that any contribution is tax deductible. Please consult your tax advisor.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I'm just mad about saffron. Saffron's mad about me. I'm just mad about saffron. She's just mad about me. They call me Mellow Yellow, quite rightly. They call me Mellow Yellow, quite rightly. They call me Mellow Yellow.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Well, trying to figure out what do you do with yourself here with no College World Series. Not like I really would have been watching the Stanley Cup Finals if it hadn't have gone to a seventh game after one team was up 3-0. To put on Major League Baseball, I guess I could watch old football games. I know that's what a lot of fans do at this point. You're just kind of waiting for the real thing to come. But there are some Euro 2024 matches, Copa America matches as well. Matt, when's the next time the Americans play? They just beat Bolivia a few days ago. Are they coming up in a day or two?
I think Thursday, USA play Panama. I don't know if it's in Dallas. I think it might be in Atlanta. I think
That's it. It's Atlanta.
Yeah.
That's the place that I read that was getting ripped for a poor playing surface. So hopefully they figured that thing out, because I don't think you want to be running around on a field that was all sorts of pockmarked and everything. But let's refresh here. I don't have anything really going on in sports, although apparently Vladimir Guerrero Jr. says he is open to a trade to the New York Yankees. That'd be fun, huh? Toronto to the Yankees. It's always nice trading inside your own division to make one of the other teams in your division better. But Toronto's lost 7 in a row. They're 16 games out. They've already made a couple of trades. I saw they traded Kevin Biggio as well. So Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to the Yankees. I don't know how much help the Yanks need right now at 52-28. And you do have a couple of stars that somehow are never able to stay on the field for an entire season. So the more the merrier.
The Bronx Bombers, man, they are definitely flying high this year.
52-28. Cleveland's up there too, man. They're 50-26. All of a sudden, the Cleveland Guardians have won 6 games in a row. I'm starting to see some of that separation that really, I don't know if I'd say there are that many great teams in the National League outside of Philadelphia, and I guess Milwaukee is okay, and the Dodgers are good, but the beasts right now of Major League Baseball are the New York Yankees with a .650 winning percentage. But you look at Tennessee, the national baseball champions. They won 60 of 73 games that they played this year. That's a winning percentage of just over 82%. And they only lost 2 games in the NCAA postseason. And they swept through the home regional, had to go to a third game against Evansville, 3-0 in the first round of the College World Series, and then they were pushed to a third game by Texas A&M. 82% winning percentage in baseball. I don't know of another team that's ever won a higher percentage than that. It's not a sport that's designed to have anybody win 80% of their ball games. So I really do think, Matt, this year's Tennessee team just stands apart from any other team in college baseball, at least over the last 25 years. SEC regular season champs, SEC tournament champs, #1 overall seed, national champion.
That's the treble.
Yeah, 2024 Tennessee Volunteers. We might not like it, and no one's telling you to like it. You just have to accept it. It is one of the greatest teams in college baseball history.
Maybe they get maybe the game will come out and you'll have Road Warriors as well. So it boosts up your percentage for all the time you win on the road.
I like the idea about that. We can revisit that again tomorrow when we reconvene for another edition of Halftime. If you missed anything on our show today, our talks with Chuck Barrett, with Alyssa Orange, Bill King, we'll have it on the Eastside Liquor Halftime podcast. CJ will get that out pretty shortly. And Ruskin and Zach are taking you from 2 up until 7 o'clock here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. So for Matt Jones and for Christian Johnston, I'm Phil. Thanks for listening today. That's Halftime. Get up, get out, and get better.